Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know, shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know, every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know, I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show, this is BVO.
I got $40.
I'm good. Supporting another black man making millions and millions of dollars, so I'm proud of you, no matter what you think.
I'm ready for that full cheese Whopper.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy, BVO Sports TV. We in the house, man. We back. Well, you know our original crew, man.
Yeah.
Puerto Rican free. You know my man Prize, man. We about to have some fun, man. So,
Yeah.
you know, we just seen one of the ultimate betrayals. One of D Free's favorite fighters, Puerto Rican star, Shakur Sanchez joins Cleveland's own Jake Paul in the camp. So you guys think about Shakur making the right decision joining the camp with Jake Paul?
I'll let D Free go because you called him first, so you know. And when is that true? Did Shakur actually do that? Is that real?
Yeah, he sparred with Jake Paul today.
He sparred with Jake Paul today. Was he
Yeah.
telling me?
Yep.
I mean, I don't care. It's sparring. Who cares? Well, you know, why not? Shakur go get some wrestling money too, like everybody else. Since everybody else is joining the WWE and the
Hey, you a hater,
WCW.
man. You a hater, man. What do you
I ain't
mean?
hating on him. I just said go get the money.
Jake
You
Paul
think
is
you
a
think
good fighter.
you think Shakur going down there for free?
He might.
Man, he ain't going down there for no free.
You only got to give him a pack of lemon heads.
Man, I don't care what you got to give him. He ain't going for free.
Hey, man, I'm sure $1 and a couple squares of knowledge he's cool to go. He's good to go, man. This ain't no big time cat. You getting a
That's
chance
crazy.
to work with Jake Paul.
No, Jake Paul gets a chance to work with Shakur Stevenson.
Hold on.
That's how that works.
Jake Paul, who got the deal with Netflix? What are you talking about?
He got a deal, but I'm talking about as far as sharing a ring and practicing. That's
Man,
like
you gotta stop. You gotta stop pulling,
that's
man.
like Dub right side. No matter of fact, let's use you. That's like you get to learn something or hang around Miles Garrett or something.
I'll put
You
it
gonna
like
go and
this,
work
man.
out with him. You gonna go,
You gotta
back
stop
in your
doing
day
this,
when
man. You gotta
damn,
stop getting
what
sprayed.
happened to old head? Do that again. What happened to him? Was that
he got
soda?
he got sprayed, man.
They did old head dirty. That was wrong.
Nah, what you got on the Puerto Rican free? I know this is your guy, man.
I ain't hear nothing you said. I said if you was talking, I ain't hear nothing you said.
Oh no, I said, what do you think about Shakur joining Team Paul to help Jake Paul get ready for Tank Davis?
It shows you how much he really don't like Tank Davis. I mean, because what would be the use of helping Jake Paul? You don't fight nothing like Tank Davis. What help did you give Jake Paul by fighting Jake Paul? I
They
mean,
both southpaws, man. What do you mean, free?
no, he fights nothing like Tank Davis. He can is a bunch of other small southpaws that fight similar to Tank Davis. Shakur Stevens is a counterpuncher that's a defensive fighter. He is not the same type of fighter as a Tank Davis. You get somebody to spar with that imitates the person that you're about to fight or have some of the same attributes that your opponent has. Shakur has nothing that will help Jake Paul as far as sparring with Jake Paul.
Tank is a counterpuncher too, free. You forgot?
Shakur has nothing that will help Jake Paul as far as sparring with Jake Paul. Why are you trying to convince me? I'm not a
I'm
person
not
that you
trying to
convince.
hit you, man.
Why
Oh, this
you say
guy.
I told you what I thought about him.
So go ahead, Prize.
Ask me the question again. I was reading something.
No, sis, what you think about all this? Who my brother Mike Rim popping in early? My man
Shout out,
Mike
brother
Rim.
Mike. He
You should
always
be a
first.
member. Mike, you always come in, man.
He
Salute
always
my
first
man Mike
anyway.
Rim. But I'm saying, what do you think about Shakur joining up with Jake Paul?
I just told you.
Oh yeah,
It
you
don't.
just said that.
It don't
So
matter. Get money.
so the whole thing I was thinking about with this is, I think this is a great thing. For me, it's a little kind of sour grapes, I'm sure, because I think people say this all the time, but they don't. I don't know if they got the same friendship they have. Shout out to Angie Baby, our newest channel member. Happy Thursday to you. I don't think we say this enough, but it tells you how far gone their relationship is. The same thing with Devin and Shakur. It's like them brothers really let the business take their friendship away. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, to be honest with you, they was never friends like that. They was cool, but they was never friends like that to feel some type of way. Like I said, they was cool. They didn't have any beef between each other. But once you become a opponent or a person that can be an opponent, you're going to start to look at people a little differently. That's why I keep telling people there's no friends in boxing unless you're a family member or you grew up with the person and y'all went to school together and things like that. There's no friends in boxing. This is a person that's this is your career. This man is trying to take money out of your children's mouth. Is
Hold on,
it
free
me
your mic.
and another
Your mic is
guy?
going out. Your mic is going out, free.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but you gotta reset everything you said, dog. Nothing we heard nothing you said, bro.
No, no. I was
Yeah, you
saying
was breaking up, Brody.
I was saying it's the same thing as if me and Prize was trying to get the same job. I'm gonna try to do my best to get that job over Prize. I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh, Prize, you go ahead and get the job. I know you want it." No, we fighting for the same job. I'm gonna do my best to get that job over Prize. Prize
Yeah.
gonna do his best to get the job over me.
Hmm.
I mean,
We
this
still gonna be
is
cool
my
though. He's
career.
still my guy.
Yeah, this is my career. But I mean, like I said, when you have a career where you fight for a living, it's
Hmm.
different. You're not we're no longer friends when we are opponents or we can possibly be opponents. We're not friends like that. I mean, anybody that you believe that can truly be
Look to my brother
opponent
Scholar, man.
against you, they're not really going to be your friends like that. That's why you saw Jamel Charlo said, "No, I don't want to fight Earl Spence because if he got to fight Earl Spence, he knows they're never going to be cool like that again. Regardless of how they might say, oh yeah, we can still be friends afterwards. You're never going to look at that person the same way that you looked at him before.
So you think Earl was a him and Earl didn't fight just off the friendship only?
I
I
think,
thought they fought off mutual respect. Free. Go ahead.
yeah, I think they got mutual respect. I think Earl probably wouldn't feel that way, but I think Jamel would feel that way. You got to understand, Jamel has issues. They got that. What you can't be better than me and we still be cool. They have that type of personality. So if he
Hmm.
gets in the ring with Earl and it really counts, yeah, they spar against each other or whatever. That's not something that counts. They were just working out, getting ready for a fight in his division. He was getting ready for a fight in his division. But if we actually about to fight and this is for all the marbles and you can possibly knock me out of championship contention.
Hmm.
Oh, Jamel Charlo not gonna look at Earl the same way if Earl go
Nope.
out there and beat him.
No,
Earl
you
went
right.
Earl
But
wasn't
Angie,
beating
baby,
no
you wrong though.
Earl
But
wasn't beating up no dog on Jamel Charlo. You got to be
Charlo,
crazy. Charlo
they
would have
said he was
smashed him.
working him in the
No, he already
getting
beat
over him in the.
he beat Jamel Charlo up in sparring. That's
Yeah,
why
but I said they
when
said he beat him up in sparring.
Jamel had that interview, Jamel was like, "Man, there's not a southpaw that can beat me." And Earl said, "Hold up, you ain't beat all the southpaw." He said, "I wasn't talking about you. I wasn't talking about you. You different. I'm talking about
Angie,
somebody else."
baby, you can rumble your friend if I'm Turkey out of sheep and I pay you $3 million and I give your friend another $2.2 million because you're gonna be the A side, right? You gonna rumble your friend and be friends next day. Y'all gonna be okay. It's a boxing match. Y'all not gonna rake each other eyes out and stuff. Y'all gonna just box. You would
Salute to
definitely
my
do that.
brother Coach Eddie.
Shout out Eddie.
Android is 37 years old, man. Um, no matter how people want to put it, he really wasted his whole career. And
He made money though.
unfortunately, he's going to be known as the dude that the Mexican pussycat beat up. That's kind of how it goes.
But he got money on the way. Since everybody like to talk about people pockets, he got money on the way doing them, fighting them bums. You know that, right?
Hold on. Boxer Scholar said,
He's
"Nah, I'm
getting
the A
paid, bro.
side. I bought BBO the big time boxing." This dude crazy.
Oh, shout out Scholars. You know he gonna get in the
We got an
chats and
open
do
panel.
what
Matter of
Scholar
fact,
do.
we're gonna drop the link early because we started late tonight. We're gonna drop the link early, so we're gonna just have some fun, man, tonight. We're gonna do about 2 to 3 hours. So we're gonna have some fun. So we're gonna drop the link early. If you want to come up, definitely come up. Just be respectful. Remember that D Free is not a black man, he's a Puerto Rican. Just
What?
show that respect.
That's just crazy. What does that matter?
I gotta have some fun with my brother
Of
Free.
course.
But
He said, Coach Eddie said Charlo
This is what
35.
y'all gotta understand. He always gotta mention that I'm a Puerto Rican because he's a Mexican. You know, the Mexican Puerto Rican
Yo.
got a rivalry. That's why he mentions it.
oh,
You know,
hold
we
on.
know Mexican Puerto Ricans always have a rivalry.
Speaking of rivalries, just let y'all know I'm 3-0 in our league. Y'all do know that, right? I'm number one. Y'all know
Speaking
that,
of
right?
that, let me ask you guys this. Now, I really want to hear you guys' opinion on this. So, all right, Coach Eddie, salute, man. So I heard the Mexican pussycat talking about, I ain't never playing the guy on the go to 168. If Canelo wants to fight me at 75, he can fight me for my belt. I'm thinking, why would Canelo waste his time fighting you for a belt that you got mailed to you? This dude is a desperate whore, man. I've
Who you
never
talking
seen a
about?
guy this desperate.
Now that's crazy.
The
Who you talking
Mexican
about?
pussycat said that.
No, I said who you talking about?
Benavidez. That's what he said.
Benavidez.
He said he
Well,
never
I mean,
had plans to fight Canelo at 68, so he just admitted that he ducked it.
Nah.
how did he
Yes.
duck him with? No, he
Canelo ain't
didn't.
nothing to duck, brother.
How did he duck Canelo when Canelo never sent him an offer?
He ran a
Yeah,
75.
How
Canelo
did
weak,
he
man.
duck him if he never sent him an offer? The way you duck is when a punch come at you, you duck out of the way. The way you duck is when an offer comes and you duck out of the way of the offer. How did he duck if he never got an offer?
I heard that he offered him $5 million flat fee.
And he told him that he had taken it, and Canelo took it off the table.
No, Eddie Reynoso took it off the table. Eddie Reynoso took it off.
That's his man, though.
Hold on. Whether Eddie Reynoso took it off the table or Canelo himself took it off the table,
The
it was
team
taken off the table. He said, "I
Man,
take it." They
by
took it off
Team
the table.
Canelo.
No, you want
Canelo
to
don't
Brother
want to
heard
you
that.
fight
want to say,
nobody, man.
it wasn't Canelo that took it off the table. It was this. It wasn't Virgil that said that. It was Robert. It doesn't matter. It
It was
happened.
Robert.
Go
Why
ahead,
you
Coach
always
Eddie. What
making
you
it
said? What
like
you had said,
when we
Coach
tell
Eddie?
you how come every time when we tell you the facts, you always gotta make an excuse of why the facts are the facts. Why we always gotta explain stuff to you?
Hold on, Free. You out of order. Hold on, I gotta play my drop. You out of order, man.
You out of order.
You out of order, man.
We gotta
Shout out,
explain
brother
stuff to you
Doug,
all
right
the time.
side. My brother.
But go ahead,
Now
Coach
go
Eddie.
ahead, Coach Eddie.
You
Go
this
ahead.
Puerto
You
Yeah,
Rican.
yes.
You see this Puerto Rican
what's
trying to talk
good,
crazy?
man? What's good, brother? Yeah,
What's up
that
with you,
dude
brother,
Canelo,
man?
man. That dude Canelo a fraud, man. That dude don't want to fight
Oh,
nobody, man. All he
Oh,
wanted to take is easy fights, man. That's the
Coach
only
Eddie.
reason he took the fight with Bud because he thought he was gonna beat him, man.
Coach Eddie, if you got to grade Canelo, A, B, C, D, and F or E, what would you get? I have him no better than a B fighter. What is your assessment? You're
I
better
agree.
yet, your
I can
grade.
go with that. I can go. I give him a
Yeah,
B minus,
nothing more
man.
than a B fighter. I
hold
give
on.
him a
I
B
give.
plus because he
I,
fought fights, but
Let
he's
me
not
ask
an
you
I
A
this.
give.
fighter.
Let me ask you
I
this,
give him a
Coach Eddie.
B. I give him a B minus because Canelo can't. He can't adjust to certain things, man.
Hmm.
He's not a Swiss Army knife. You know,
Right.
certain fights, like if you got foot movement, he can't do nothing with you. You're done. He's done. That's why he ducked Demetrius Andrade for years. Cause Demetrius Andrade would have cooked him. That's why Oscar
No,
De
he
La Hoya.
awkward, man. He awkward. I ain't about to fight no awkward nigga like that.
And that what
He
I'm saying. You
ducked
got to remember.
undisputed
You
for
got
$40 million with
exactly.
Andrade. That's
And
a
you got to
fact.
remember Oscar De La Hoya and Bernard Hoffman. They were Canelo's handlers. Both of those guys are Hall of Fame. They know boxing, man. They know to keep Canelo away from that dude, man. They say, nah,
Hmm.
this dude gonna
Hold
cook
on,
our guy, man.
you forgot that we beat undefeated, reigning 154-pound Austin Trout.
No,
Austin Trout, look, he was all right.
no,
I'm not even gonna front. He was
That's
he
his
was
best
okay.
win to
You
me.
would think Austin Trout is an elite fighter because that is the favorite person that BBO loves bringing up. He always bring up Austin Trout. You would think Austin Trout was elite.
Nah,
He was a
he
unified
wasn't.
champion.
I think Austin Trout got beat. I think he beat Cotto for that belt, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
I think it was him and Cotto. I think he was an
And they
underdog in
fought
that fight.
next, and Canelo. People thought that Trout, he was, that was his kind of like get back,
That was a
with
coming
that.
out party. That was a coming out party. Let me ask you this, Coach Eddie, and since now Puerto Rican free is in rare form, I don't know what's going on here. See, everybody else get beanie free. I get war free. But let me ask you guys this. So if Canelo would have beat Floyd, Bivol, and Bud Crawford, would he have been the greatest of all time in your opinion?
Why you want to do
Not
these
of all,
ifs?
not of all time.
If it was a split, we'd be all effed up.
No, I'm asking Coach Eddie a question. He a historian. He know this stuff.
You just
Well,
said
not of all time. It's hard to put that jacket of all time. I'm gonna tell you why, man. And this is my opinion. A lot of these guys, man, back then you fought guys, multiple times. If you beat a guy one time, that don't necessarily mean you're gonna beat him 2 or 3 times. And that's the thing, man. A guy can have a bad day. We don't get enough rematches. Yeah, you may have beat the guy one time, but can you beat him again? You know what I'm saying? Because you know how it is. If you fought a dude one day, he might get the best of you, and then a day or two later, you might get him. You know what I'm saying? But we don't get that no more. You know what I'm saying? Them guys are fighting each other 3, 4, 5 times, man.
Look, I mean, and you saying if he would have won, he
Mhm.
would be a champion. He did not win, so you can't say if he would have won. He
If
didn't. He
was a
lost all 3 of
spliff,
them. He would have been a
Well,
Hey,
champion at 70. He would have been a champion
Can-
at 75. He would
he
have
was a
stayed a
champion in
champion at
'75.
no. He would
nah,
have if he would
all
have
that
beat
was cherry picked though,
he
bro.
would have been a champion if he beat Bibble. He didn't have a belt when he went up to the fight Bibble. He would have been a champion if he beat Bibble. He would have stayed a champion at 54. He would have stayed a champion at 68. But he didn't, and he lost all those championship shots.
He got the best 3 losses you could ever ask for in boxing history. Floyd Joy Mayweather Jr., Bud Crawford, and Bivol was just too big. I think Bivol's not good. He's just too big. So my only thing is this: if y'all being honest, let's just take Canelo out of it. We're talking about, because to me, I think the greatest Mexican fighter is Chavez or Oscar. If you tell me on any given night, do you think Oscar could beat Canelo? I think so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do I think that Chavez
Yes,
could beat Canelo? No.
yes,
Oscar
yes.
De La Hoya would have beat Canelo. He would have beat
No,
him.
I said that. No, he would have watched it.
I think
I'm talking about
Chavez
Chavez.
and Oscar would beat Canelo.
Maybe Oscar, but not Chavez. Hold on, and y'all forgetting, we did something that your boy Pastor Ward couldn't do. We
Yo,
beat Sergey Kovalev and stopped
this,
it.
this is the difference. This is the difference between me and you.
Nah, that Sergey Kovalev washed up, bro. That dude was
I
already been
was,
stopped 2 times, man.
I was
Kovalev already
privileged.
got knocked out.
I was
shout out
privileged to
TD.
be alive to see Chavez fight for real. You saw video, so you don't know what Chavez was really like. I know that Chavez would have beat Oscar De La Hoya. I mean, beat Canelo Alvarez.
Yes, he would have.
He would
Yes,
have
he
beat
would have.
Canelo
He would
Alvarez.
have drowned
You
him in
got to
the later
remember, I'm
rounds
from
three.
Cleveland. I've seen all those tapes of him because he used to be on a lot
I
Yeah,
of
saw
boxing
you seen
tapes.
cards.
tapes. You seen
Yeah.
tapes.
If you
No,
know boxing BVO, he would have drowned Canelo in late rounds with Chavez's
with
punch
what?
output.
With what?
His punch output.
Hold on, y'all forgot. Canelo beat Caleb Plant. He beat
Man,
Billy Joe
Caleb Plant ain't no
Chavez
Saunders.
would have beat all of
no
that,
good,
bro.
bro.
No,
Caleb Plant
you
ain't all
forgot.
that, man. I know. Trust
I
me,
don't know. He
man.
kind of
You
little. I don't
forgot
know about all
Canelo
that.
Alvarez
Caleb
never.
Plant he's a C plus fighter, man.
The difference
I give him a B
between
minus.
the difference between Canelo Alvarez, Oscar De La Hoya, and Cesar Chavez is Cesar and Oscar have both beat elite fighters.
Right.
Canelo has never beat an elite fighter.
That's not true. That's not
Can I say
true.
something real quick too?
Go
Can I
ahead.
say something real quick too? If Canelo was who everybody say he was, there's no way in the world a 47 comes up and beat a reigning super middleweight undisputed champion. Do you think for 1 minute that Andre Ward would allow Terence Crawford to come up and beat him, or Roy Jones would allow Terence Crawford to come up and beat him? Do you think that Terence Crawford or Canelo Alvarez would have made it out of the Super 6 tournament?
Of
Neither
course
one
they
of them
would
would
have.
have made it out.
Hold on. Did you forget that Carl Frost was whooping Pastor Ward's ass? You
And
forgot
the
about
same
that?
thing with what I'm saying. Neither one of those guys would have made it out of that tournament. Canelo wouldn't have made it out, nor Bud would have made it out of that tournament.
Bud would
They
have
would have.
won.
You got your mind, man.
You think he could have beat Carl Frost, John
Too
Emery?
small, bro. Bro,
Oh
He
my
too
God.
Carl Frost?
goddamn, Andre Darrell would have beat Bud.
No, that's the
Bud?
reason
No,
why
the one who
Bud
got
said
knocked out in the
Darrell would
feet
have
and didn't
beaten
know he
Bud.
won.
that's
He
the
would
reason
beat
Darrell,
why
Terrence
Bud
Crawford?
said he wouldn't fight David Benavidez. He's too
Darrell
big.
would have beaten Bud.
Mm-mm.
He,
No, he
he said
wouldn't.
that's the
How
exact
about
reason why
you?
he said he
You
wouldn't
sure
fight
about that?
David
I'm
Benavidez. He's too
positive.
big.
You talking
David
about? Hold on,
Benavidez is like
Because I,
6'2", 6'2" versus 5'8". A dude who's freaking fast as I. Man, y'all been sleeping on
how
Darrell.
was big
Darrell was
when
that guy. When
how big
Darrell
was
first came
Floyd
out,
when he
Darrell was
beat
that guy, bro.
Coach? How big was Floyd when he beat how tall Corrales was? He was a big lightweight. When he was like he was like 5'11".
Yeah,
That
he
was at
beat the dog out of
135. We
him.
talking about
I know, but
168.
I get it. But I'm sorry, but you're talking about
He,
height differential. You know what I'm
Hold on,
saying?
you tripping,
but
coach,
no, we
because
Darrell
talking
you
about
Darrell's
forgot.
fast as
height
lightning.
and
Darrell's
weight.
fast as
Height
lightning.
and
Darrell
weight.
would Bud couldn't beat no doggone Darrell.
Didn't
No,
he get knocked
we
out
talking about height
in the Super
and weight.
Six? Hold on, freak. Didn't he get knocked out in the six? In the Super Six?
You
Didn't they
talking
knock
about
him out?
when Aubrey Abraham hit him in
Yeah.
the back of the head?
Then they
You
woke
talking
him
about
up and he said, I lost, man. I lost. I
it was an
forgot.
illegal shot. Go, the dude got
No,
disqualified.
I'm
but
telling you,
BBO,
Carl Frost, go ahead.
BBO, you're talking about another guy that was in the weight class that beat him. You're not talking about a smaller guy that beat him. You're talking about another guy that was in the weight class.
Y'all act like Bud is not all time great. I think
See,
Bud is probably
JL
all
talking
time.
about Kawasaki beating him. Like
No.
Kawasaki's a big super middleweight, bro. But and I don't know if he can beat Bud because Bernard's a big dude. But I mean, I want to put Bud up against like some of the top super middleweights. I don't think
But
that's fair.
you got to listen to Bud out of his own words. Bud said the only reason he took the Canelo fight because he wasn't that big. That's what he
Right.
said.
Yeah.
That's what he
Right.
He
said.
can't go up there and beat no goddamn Andre Darrell. That dude is one of the fastest super middleweights that ever freaking walked the face of this earth, man. That dude hand speed was ridiculous, bro.
Man, James Tony would have watched him, man. You act like that dude James
Oh,
Tony
you
or
talking
something,
about
bro.
James Tony? That's crazy.
That's an
James,
all time great. But Bud wouldn't beat no freaking Andre Darrell,
I
man,
think
back
Bud
in
can
his
beat
prime.
him. I
He's
think
too
Bud's
fast.
smart enough to beat him.
He was too fast, bro. Way too fast and too big,
Andre
too
so let me
Darrell
long,
ask
when he
y'all
first
this.
came
and
out, Andre
way too
Darrell when he
fast,
first
man.
came out was that dude when he first came out. He was that
Champ
dude.
Ross
Yeah, no
salute.
Way
doubt.
too
Him
fast. He
and
was
his
way
brother.
too fast.
I
You can
rock
ask
with Bud.
Andre.
I
You can
rock
ask
with him and
Andre
his brother.
Ward. Andre Ward, like this dude is the fastest guy he ever seen, bro. That man way too fast for Bud,
Hmm
and
You,
just
you
too
see,
long, too
I still
tall, and he
think Bud
switch
can beat
hitting.
him.
No, sir. He wouldn't beat him.
So
yeah,
let me
we're
ask
looking
you
at
this. Let me
Andre
ask you this,
Darrell
Coach Hattie.
now, but when Andre Darrell first came out, Andre Darrell was that dude when he first came
Yeah,
out.
he
Yeah,
was.
him
Until
and his brother
till
was
he started
good.
getting beat up. He was that guy. Till
That's
he
what I'm
started
saying. We're
getting beat
looking
up.
at him
Yeah.
now, but back when he first came out, Andre Darrell was that dude.
I'm gonna tell you somebody else who was that dude when they first came out. Jermaine Taylor, before he
Yeah,
started getting
Jermaine
knocked
Taylor
out.
too.
But he started getting put to sleep.
That's what I'm saying. Before all that, though, Jermaine, he was an Olympian.
And
Everybody
he
was high on Jermaine,
and he
man.
still came back and later in his career to win a 100 super middleweight championship. And later
Nah,
in his
I ain't take.
career,
Yeah, I ain't
Let me
taking
ask y'all
nothing.
this:
But, go
Jermaine
ahead, bro.
Taylor's a Hall of Famer, bro. He
could
should be.
y'all think Canelo could beat Roy Jones?
Absolutely
No,
No,
not.
boy,
no.
Canelo couldn't make it out of the first 5 rounds with Roy Jones.
Roy
But
Jones will
Jan-
stop Canelo. He would be too
you
fast, too
but
sharp, too
I
athletic.
heard Max Kellerman say that Canelo's James Tony like. You don't believe that?
Smoking dope.
Matt Kellerman is a goofy.
Hey, Coach, there you go, bro. He said
You talking
smoking
about the
dope.
same dude that got kicked off at first take for doing crazy football takes?
You
That
talking
dude?
about the same Canelo that just got beat up by Bud Crawford? You talking about when he beat Roy Jones?
He got beat up by a
No,
welterweight.
when Roy Jones is off the juice, not when he on the juice. When he off the
Oh,
juice.
see, here we go.
Roy Jones was never on juice.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
He tested positive for steroids.
Once again, I gotta explain the story to you.
You talking about he went this GMC or whatever. At the end of the day, a dirty test is a dirty test. Am I wrong, Coach Eddie? A dirty test is a dirty
Like I said,
test.
do I gotta explain the
I
story to
mean,
you?
I
He
guess
was
so. If you want
taking
to put it
he
like
was
that, I
taking a
guess. I don't know
supplement.
the full
He
story.
was taking a supplement that he's have always taken. They
Hmm
put it on the banned substance list the year that he popped dirty. It was a supplement that he always took. It wasn't a bad substance when he was taking it. They put it on and then he popped dirty. But it was something that he always took.
Hold on, but Canelo ate a Whopper, and y'all talking about he's dirty.
No, Canelo took something that was always illegal.
Hold on, I gotta read this. This dude said, he said BBL got a Canelo tattoo on his belly button instead of a thug life. He just said Canelo.
That was crazy.
Hold on, Eddie. I usually don't get into with EPT boys, man. You better be quiet, man, because we're gonna take your
Canelo took
EPT,
something
man.
that was always illegal. But like I said, the you could pick Roy Jones at just at any time.
Anyway, he
He would have beat Canelo Alvarez.
would
Canelo
stop
Alvarez
Canelo
is not that.
Alvarez.
Dog, the way that Canelo Alvarez got beat up by Bud Crawford, now you got to look at it and say, okay,
Uncle Cash.
was Canelo Alvarez ever really that good? Because we saw him avoid certain fighters. And I always
And he
told
probably,
y'all,
and he probably had that.
BBO was the one that was saying, "Oh, that was an easy fight." And I always told you, if it's easy money, why don't you go get the easy money?
Yep.
Facts.
He too
Because one
big.
thing about
Coach
you just
Eddie and
said,
Free, he too big.
Who?
now you got to remember that's Canelo's MO. Canelo like easy fight. The one thing about Canelo, if he don't want to fight you, he tries. First thing he tries to do is discredit you, try to tell you ain't did nothing.
You
And
ain't
then
got
his
no
fan
belts.
base, he weaponizes his fan base to go against you, and they run the smear campaign on you. They did the same thing with Demetrius Andrade first. They did the same thing with David.
Hold on, that was a
Benavidez.
tough fight, Coach Eddie. So what you gained from beating Demetrius Andrade? Nobody knows him.
Undisputed. We talking about at 160.
Nobody
He
ever heard of him.
could have been undisputed at 160.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
But nobody ever heard of
hold
him.
on. And if he was such a horrible fighter, then why not go ahead and take the trash out?
Mm-hmm.
If it's an easy night in the office, if a man tell me they're gonna give you $40 million to fight a scrub, ain't you gonna take that?
Hey, Prize. We're gonna get about another 2 more weeks of this because remember when Tank Davis beat Ryan Garcia, it was Ryan Garcia. I mean, Tank put a spy in his camp. Tank was doing. We're gonna get about another 2 more weeks and then he's gonna give up. He's gonna say, okay,
Here we
Canelo
go.
Alvarez
Here
wasn't
we
that
go.
good.
Hold on, man. Hold on. We're not even gonna talk about that racist piece of trash. All I can say
I'm
is
just telling you, when you pick
if we
somebody to win and they lose, you find every reason why they lost instead of just saying the guy was just better than them.
I think Bud was better. And you know what? I'll say this. Shout out to Victor Conti and shout out to the snack program. I think the snack program works. What do you say, Coach?
Oh my God.
Would
Now
you say the
you
snack
just seen
program
a
works?
guy in Canelo is so limited, man. If you really want to get right down to it, one of his biggest advantage that he have on his side is that he's able to intimidate people.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people just let the mystique of Canelo beat them. If they really went in there and try to fight the dude, they would have found out that he won all that, man. You know, these dudes were literally beating themselves before they even got in the ring, man.
Yep,
I'll
JM.
give you this.
You're right,
I think
JL.
Canelo, I'll say this about Canelo. One thing that Canelo's always struggled with is anybody with fast feet. And one thing I've seen Canelo kind of do, he kind of took advantage of those bigger fighters because he had the hand speed advantage.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is when he get in there with them slick blacks, it's always
It's
tough
over.
because he should have never fought Bud. That was stupid. Should never fought him.
You know what? Canelo only fights you if he think he can beat you, and he figured that
Facts.
Terrence Crawford was a welterweight, and he can moving up into my world. I'll be able to overwhelm him with my size and power. But when he got in there, because he's a B fighter, and he got in there with an A+ fighter, they showed you levels. And I know people were like, "Man, what's levels?" People like to shoot that level stuff down, but it really is levels of certain things, bro. In boxing,
I mean, you just got that from Meek Mill, man. Shout out Meek Mill.
We got to put it like this. Jose
I don't-
Benavidez was a harder fight for Bud than the Canelo fight. That's facts.
Yeah,
Brother Ernest said the blacks. He said slick black sounded like a hard ER somehow.
Well, Ernest, this isn't makeup, bro. I'm black. No. And I could say it because I could tell you who's good or not. I mean, we seen your boy Benavidez. I mean Canelo. He lost. Close fight. It is what it is, man. That's not the first time we see somebody lose.
Close. What was close about the fight?
It was 115, 113.
No, I said what was close about the fight.
I didn't think it was close. I'm just talking about what the judges said.
Okay, so you can't say what the judges gave him. You said he lost a close fight. He didn't lose a close fight. He lost a fight. He got
I
beat
thought he
up.
lost 10-2. I thought he lost 10-2. To me, I thought he lost 10-2.
I gave him 3 or 4 rounds.
But let me ask you this, Coach Eddie. And we seen the thing where we had this is, I'm gonna play the sound bite for you. So this is what Tank Davis said in a press conference. I want to get your opinion on this.
Supporting another black man making millions and millions of dollars, so I'm proud of you, no matter what you think. And
What do you think about Tank Davis always going at other blacks, man? What do you think that comes from, Coach Eddie?
Man, it's hard to say, man. I don't know, because what did he expect Leon Love to do? I mean, first of all, Tank don't even got no business fighting Jake Paul. And Leon, you know what I'm saying, his boxing career is over, so he's just trying to make some money, man. You know what I'm saying? And I don't understand it. He shouldn't be coming at the brother like that for no reason. I don't like that fight for Tank, man. I think Jake Paul
like
the fight.
I don't like the fight neither, but I just don't see what's all of the outrage about, because I didn't see all this outrage when Tyson Fury was fighting Francis. I didn't see all this outrage when AJ was fighting Francis. They said something about it and then they all watched the fight. But with this joint, it's like, man, this joint is crazy.
I saw people talk about it. Free.
I think that because both guys were heavyweights, I think that's probably what I think it's more the size than anything else.
Yeah, the size. That's all it is. It's the size.
I saw people got in the ring. I saw people grind up that Tyson Fury Ngannou fight.
Both guys are heavyweights, though. I think, you know what I'm saying. But this fight,
yeah,
to be honest,
heavyweights,
man,
though. Yeah,
it's a dangerous fight for Tank. I mean, what if Jake Paul go out here and clip Tank, man? You know what I'm saying?
I would wake up the next day and be like, see, that's what you get.
I'll be excited.
All money ain't good money.
I'll be excited because I feel like Tank Davis goes out of his way to be a jerk, man. Nobody calls it what it is. He always goes out of his way to be a jerk.
It doesn't bother me one way or another, because I'm not paying attention to that fight. I'm watching Alicia Bungon and I'm watching Antoine.
Yep.
Paul and Tank Davis fight. I don't care nothing about it.
The real fights.
I'm ready for moving.
Let me ask you guys this real quick. Let me ask you guys this real quick. One thing I've been hearing a lot about, and I agree with this, and I want to hear everybody because Uncle Cavs brought it up. Do you guys think the judges be cheap for Canelo when it comes to Vegas? I think they do. Do you guys believe that?
Yes. They get. How in the world did they have Mayweather Canelo not a unanimous decision? Make that make sense. That fight there, right there, you don't need to say nothing else about nothing else. You're already down 4 rounds. Most people already say this when you fight Canelo. It showed again that Terrence Crawford needed 11 and 12 to beat him when we already thought the fight was over rounds ago. So these judges, shout out Dub right side with these people are taking vanilla envelopes, bro. It's money spread all around, and they're not giving it to the fighters, but they spread it around the sanctioning bodies, the corrupt judges, the corrupt referees, and everybody else, and all the suits. That's where all the money go to, and then they give the fighters the slops. And that's why some fighters don't take that ish.
I believe if that fight would not have been on Netflix, they would have gave it to Canelo. It was too many eyes on the sport. If they would have robbed that man in front of all them folks, they would be like, nah, boxing is rigged. They had to give it to him. But if it would have just been on like regular pay-per-view or like on Showtime or something like that, they wouldn't have gave that fight. They wouldn't have gave that fight to Bud, man. They would, because they would have found a way. I mean, look how hard, in my opinion, Bivol beat Canelo worse than Bud did. I think Bivol just really kind of manhandled him and just kind of.
What you think?
But he just kind of ragdolled him.
He was too big. He was too big.
Push him around, put him in a rope, throw a whole bunch of punches, beat up on him a little bit. Crawford just outcrafted me. Crawford used his skill, and his ability.
No, we stopped Kovalev. Free, tell the whole story. We stopped Kovalev, the crusher.
Man, Kovalev was washed, man.
You can't turn around and say that Demetrius Bivol was too big. Kovalev was bigger than Demetrius Bivol.
Kovalev is an alcoholic, Free. He beat up women and dogs.
He is stone cold racist, I'll tell you that.
No, I'm not. Because people talk about how Tank hit people, hit girls, and all that. Kovalev beat up. Not only did he hit a female, he abused a dog.
You're prize. I don't care nothing about that. That you can focus on that. I'm talking about the fight.
I'm talking about BBL.
I'm just saying. I'm talking. He's sitting there saying he knocked out Kovalev, but Kovalev was bigger than Demetrius Bivol. So how you saying Demetrius Bivol was too big?
Yeah, man, he beat up a dog abuser. We
So let me
animal
ask you
friendly
guys
over
this. Hold
here.
on, let me ask you guys this.
We're
Do you
animal
think
friendly
do
here.
you guys think boxing lost by giving this decision to Bud? Or do you think the sport can bounce back without a
Given
superstar?
That's
he didn't get
great. That's a great.
he
That's
earned
great,
his
brother.
victory.
Say it again, coach.
I believe it's great because one thing it did, it's going to open up the super middleweight division because Bud ain't going to campaign there. He's probably going to let the belts go, and it's going to get everybody the opportunity to shake out in 168 instead of everybody waiting to fight Canelo. Now these guys will get back to fighting each other because I don't want to fight anybody because if I lose, then I'm out of the Canelo sweepstakes. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a good thing that Canelo held them belts hostage for I don't know however many years he had them, and he wasn't fighting as mandatory. He was picking and choosing. Even the Bud fight. I mean, that was a fight that Canelo picked and choose. He pulled his dude up from 154 pounds, man, instead of fighting a guy like a Min Bailey or somebody who's been there the whole time who deserved the shot. Not saying that Tanner Crawford didn't, but he did. He jumped the line. He didn't even have a fight at 168. He went
Shout
straight to
out
the front of the line and got all the fight, got all the belts.
shout out brother
Yeah.
Bernard in the chat. Our
Yeah, I don't
brother.
know, man. I think, and Coach Eddie is my guy. I think you're being really, really hard on Canelo when he really done fought all the mofos you can fight, man. He never was scared of the blacks. He fought them all. I
Man,
mean,
he fought Berlanga, bro. He fought Edgar Berlanga. He fought Jaime Munguia, man.
he said
Pull up, coach. Pull up, coach B.
what did he say? The Godfather admitted years ago he paid. Hold on, he had to pay for favorable scores.
Yep.
I think
The
that's true.
Godfather.
But I'm gonna ask you guys this: what do you guys think about this slander that's going around that Don King owns WBC? Do you guys believe in this slander? They trying to say that Don King owns WBC. They saying Jose Suleiman and Don King were like in some type of coercion, which is crazy to say that about Don King, who's done nothing but great business in boxing. What do you guys think about that?
I ain't saying nothing bad about Big Don.
This
Big
is the first
Don.
time I heard about that, man.
Big Don gave me some of the best time of my life with the fights that he put on. So I don't
They
got
talk
nothing
about
bad.
Don like a dog, coach. I don't
I don't got
understand. Like,
nothing bad to say about Big Don. Nothing.
or they tell you that PBC going broke every week. I mean, I don't even think Top Rank got a home right now. Wasn't that
How's
fight the
PBC
heavyweight?
gonna go broke when they don't even really spend no money? What they spend? What fight are they putting on? They not spending
Yeah,
no money right
Well,
now.
they gave Tank or her a huge contract. I don't know what
Man,
happened with
where
that.
is
man,
it?
that's cap, bro.
That's
Is that
fabricated.
cap? No, I thought you
Yeah.
signed a 7-fight deal, coach. I don't know much about
Nah,
it. Do
man,
you?
I do that.
Then he wouldn't be fighting no damn Jake Paul then.
I don't see it, bro. If he was like fighting a 7-fight deal, that means your money is guaranteed. Like one thing about Canelo money is guaranteed. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? His money got to be in an escrow before he even hit the ring, bro. He ain't playing them. He ain't playing no back end politics. He ain't doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm real talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shoot, Canelo paid before he even go up them stairs, man.
You said
So,
I
so
don't
yeah,
I don't
he
know
said you
nothing
got his check
about
that
before you left.
7-fight deal, that's cap, man.
I don't know nothing about what's going on with Tank, Khan, or anything like that. All I know is that the man is fighting Jake Paul, and I mean, I'm still trying to figure out what Top Rank is going to do. Everybody kept saying, "Oh, PBC is going to go out of business," but it seemed like Top Rank is the one that don't have a platform to fight on.
They said Top Rank is going to stars.
Yeah, I heard that as
I
well.
don't know what Top Rank doing. They ain't got no cards for this the rest of this year. They don't have a card
Yeah.
Yeah,
lined up for the rest of this year. But
yeah. They
everybody
said,
had all this smoke
that's
about. They had all this smoke about PBC, but Top Rank don't have a card for the rest of this year. They don't have a platform. We don't even know where they're going to go at. But I don't hear nobody saying nothing about Top Rank.
it's Turkey Al Sheik. A lot of these guys, what Turkey Al Sheik is doing, he's using the boxing promotion companies like a labor pool. So basically,
Yeah.
he just pulling fighters from every promotion company, and they going over there to fight, and then whatever that fighter makes, their promotion company gets a percentage of what the fighters make. That's easy money. That's money you ain't got to put up nothing for. All you got to do is sit back and collect. Hey, you want to rent my guy for a day? I send him over there to you.
You don't gotta
And
buy. You don't gotta book no venues. No
you got to book nothing,
nothing.
man. So So that's what everybody, the PBC doing the same thing. They sending their guys over there. They're getting
That's why I
paid.
said people that say PBC going broke. How they're not spending no money?
Nah, they just collecting money right now. When they send
At
their
this
guys
point,
over there, they collecting money from Turkey
they
on the
can send
street.
David Benavidez into a super fight. Turkey gonna pay for it. Al gonna get his advisory fee, and
Yeah.
the fighter
I
gonna get
mean,
his check, and then and
Yep.
everybody gonna be happy, bro. What we talking
Same,
about?
same thing with the
that's the
Tank
thing.
fight. So
A lot of
Tank is gonna give a percentage of his Netflix purse to Al Heyman.
Hmm.
a
How
lot of
much you think
these
he making for that
boxer
fight? $1
fighters
million?
don't know how to business work.
They say
Who?
about 40.
You think he'll make that much?
That's what they
He said,
saying. So
how much is he
Al gonna
making?
probably get at least 15-20% of that.
Mm.
He said Tank is getting those. How much, BBO?
I
They said
said
he
a
gonna get
million.
40. They said he getting 40 mil for the fight.
No, I want to hear what BBO said.
No, I said he about to get some millions.
Oh, I thought you said he's getting the 8 million. I was like, I ain't fighting for no $1 million.
No, he said 8 million. He said
I
millions.
said millions, man. That's a
Yeah.
lot of money, bro.
I
What's
thought
going on,
I
brother
thought you
Bernard?
said millions. I could be
We
wrong.
got we
Man,
got
what's
we got
going
we
on,
got
good brothers?
we got my man Coach Eddie in the house. We
Brother
got
B.
Free and we got my man Prize. And we just heard these guys say Canelo Alvarez is a C fighter. Can you believe this?
Man, we
I
said
didn't
B,
say that,
man.
Coach. Coach
We
B.
said B
I
B
said he's a
fighter.
B fight. I said he's nothing more than a B fighter, Coach B.
He's an
Me
A
too.
fighter.
Okay.
Tell him,
He's
Coach.
an A
Tell him.
level. He's an A level fighter, and I say that based on what he's done throughout his career and against the level of competition on a regular basis, whether they were past their prime, in their prime, whatever you want to call it, he had to beat them. And it's a lot of those guys that he beat who went on to be world champions again. So I can't say you're past your prime if he beat you and then you go on to be a world champion again. I think he's showed the evolution of himself from being like a more of a pit bull strong guy to where he became a sound boxer with great defensive ability. So I wouldn't say he's anything less than an A. And if anybody has that opinion and it comes after the Bud Crawford fight, I think you're diminishing Bud more than you're diminishing Canelo.
See, I always had him a B fighter.
Salute, brother
Back in the
Curtis with the
day.
5 piece. Appreciate you, man. Definitely
Appreciate you,
appreciate
brother
you always
Curtis.
supporting. My bad. Go
Channel
ahead, Prize.
member. No, it's okay. Um, Shout out to brother Curtis, the channel member. But I always had him a B fighter. I didn't base it off the me personally, coach. I didn't base it off the Bud win. I picked Bud to win. I knew he could do this as long as he did exactly what he did. Turn him, box him, moves, flurry. That's what he had to do. But I still think Canelo hasn't learned anything from the Mayweather fight. He doesn't
That's
know how
true.
to deal. Hold on, BBO. He doesn't know how to deal with those fighters that know how to use a lot of lateral movement. They gave him one with Laura, but Laura kind of shut down toward the end. But I thought he had enough rounds banked in. But I feel like those kind of fighters that he doesn't know how to deal with those kind of Bivens, Crawfords, Mayweather, the people that beat him. That style he can't. He hasn't figured it out. So I got him as a B plus. I don't have him as a B minus. I have him as a B plus. You know what I mean? He's a borderline A minus fighter, but I respect your opinion.
The hate is real, man. The hate is real.
When
I'm
we
not
when we
hating.
look when we look at him, I don't think that's hate because you actually had an assessment to go along with your rating. It's when people just
Thank
say
you,
something
coach.
and have
Thank you,
no
coach.
assessment. But what I will say is every fighter has a style of fighter that
Mm.
either A gives them problems or B that can beat them. I think every fighter of every single generation, who was the greatest of that generation, we can all find at least one guy that he didn't fight, and the reason he didn't fight him because his team thought stylistically it just didn't make any common sense. So when we look at that, there's always somebody stylistically that has your number. You just have to fight long enough. If just
Yeah.
imagine if Rocky Marciano continued to fight, even or had lived and he fought more, he may have gotten lost. Imagine if Chavez said, "I'm going to stop after he fought 50 times." You know, it's boxing is the one sport that I love from back in the day because the great ones passed the mantle on to the next great. It wasn't I'll retire at this point when the guy that can get me is there. The great ones passed the mantle. Like I said, Chavez could have retired a long time before he took a loss, and that record would have been so out of reach because of the magnitude of his greatness.
Yeah.
But nobody said Chavez was a defensive genius. Nobody said Chavez was the greatest boxer they've ever seen. They said Chavez had heart, tenacity, and he made you figure out if you were a man. Not if he was a man, if you were a man. And that's a style.
So let me ask you guys this. Now they was going crazy about Pastor Ward as if they forgot he went life and death with Carl Froch. Carl Froch almost beat that nigga. I don't know if people remember that. Carl Froch just didn't have enough power. I hate that fight because he had him. He just couldn't knock him out. What do you think about that, Coach?
Well, I want to let me chime in on Canelo real quick. I want to give my assessment on here if you don't mind. Let's say the reason why I had Canelo as a B fighter. I'm gonna tell you why. First of all, he built his record up. He didn't have much of an amateur career. He built his record up. He built his record up in Mexico. By the time he came over here, he was probably 30 something, and I don't know the quite. He had like 30 something fights already.
Yeah,
what they did with him, something like that. So he got with Golden Boy. What they did with him, they moved him the right way. They got guys like Carlos Baldomir, old guy, Shane Mosley, old guy, Miguel Cotto, old guy, James Kirkland, just got out of prison, was addicted to crack cocaine. What else can I say?
And Wolf not in the corner.
And Wolf not in there. I'm being dead serious, man.
Every time he didn't have her in his corner, he got beat.
And then freaking when they waited for Demetrius Andrade to get stripped to go after his 154-pound belt. They ducked Demetrius Andrade like the plague, man. I don't care what nobody say. Demetrius Andrade would always have beat, especially at that time. It would have been no contest. Because one thing about Canelo, he cannot make adjustments, man. If you really want to get right down to it, I thought William Skull beat him. And William Skull would step on the gas.
Oh no, Coach, they gonna take your credibility, man. That dude.
I'm gonna tell you how I can make a case that William Skull beat him. Do you know that Canelo set the record for the least amount of punches ever thrown in a 12-round fight? How can you award a man a victory who threw 165 punches in a 12-round fight? This man
didn't do anything, but he didn't. This
man threw 14 punches per round. Actually, they gave Canelo a round where he threw 4 punches and landed 0, and he won that round.
Coach Eddie, if Coach Kenny Ellis was in there, he would have been smacking William Skull. It's time to F him fight. That's what he would have told him. Because that dude did not come to fight, man. He didn't come to fight.
Coach, he didn't come to fight at all.
Who didn't?
Hey, Coach, I don't have no.
Hold on. Wait 1 second. So Canelo came to fight? Because Canelo sit there and watched the man and set a record.
He didn't beat the champion.
Coach, he kept running.
He didn't do anything.
That dude was not running, bro. He stood in front of Canelo for like a lot of times. Canelo didn't do anything. Sit there and look at it.
You got to beat the champ. You got to convince these guys that
that's why Laura lost. That's why Laura lost because Laura
didn't really lose.
Hold on 1 second. So
Laura
they landed
brains out.
They landed the same amount of punches. The only difference was that William Skull threw over 100 more punches than Canelo did. That's the difference.
He didn't do nothing.
No, and Canelo didn't do anything either.
Yeah, but you got to do something to attempt to beat the champion. If that's the case, everybody would do that. They would go in there and with a champion and not
just stand around.
This man threw 145 punches in a 12-round fight.
I wish I could have thrown a tomato.
He set a record. Canelo said he holds the record for the least amount of punches ever thrown in a 12-round fight. Let that sink in.
JL. You cannot beat the champion if you run. Laura ran like a girl the whole fight.
No, you tripping. Laura was painting Canelo with left hands. Where was you watching?
Who were you watching? He ran every time.
He used a lot of lateral movement, but what he didn't do was engage in the last couple of rounds.
I need to ask a question. Have any of y'all seen William Skull fight before the Canelo fight?
I have, yes. I have.
I've never seen
If
him.
you seen William Skull fight before the Canelo fight, you will know that's how William Skull fights. He's
Yeah,
a
he does,
Yeah.
boxer.
but
He
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
have a lot of power. He's a boxer.
yeah, three, but
He
he
does
uses a
he does a lot of movement.
way too much lateral movement, way too much. You're trying to fight Canelo. You're not fighting just some Joe Blow. You're fighting the top of the top. You know what I mean? You
Okay,
gotta
put it.
let your hands go.
But we didn't we didn't
Okay,
we
put it
didn't we
like
didn't
put it
we,
like
we,
this.
hold up. We didn't see the same thing. We didn't see the same thing when we had the other fight with Devin Haney. He did a lot of movement.
That neither one of them is Canelo. Neither one of them was fighting Canelo. I'm talking about Canelo Alvarez, the best of the best. Freak.
So you're only saying the reason why he could put it like this. If you were just a random guy on the street, you walk by and watch that fight, you seen fighter A, fighter B, didn't know who was, you would be like the white guy ain't doing nothing. That's what you would say if you watch that fight.
I definitely wouldn't say that.
The only reason he won because he was Canelo.
Listen,
You
Canelo.
go,
Listen,
coach.
The reason why Canelo
no,
won that fight, the main reason why Canelo won that fight is because they had the
you breaking up, free. You
Yeah,
breaking
you
up,
fell
free.
down the
they
steps,
won
man. We can't hear
Yeah,
you.
Canelo.
you,
You
free. You
your
fell
mic
down the
went out.
step. Free. You fell down the steps. Repeat it. What you said? Your mic mess up.
Yeah, you fell
I
down the
know
steps,
damn
bro.
well y'all see me standing straight up. I know
But
damn
your
well
mic
y'all see me
messed up
standing
though.
straight
You
up.
can be doing whatever you're doing.
Okay.
Your mic messed up.
Okay, so then
He said,
just say your mic messed up. All that extra stuff is out the window. But like I said, the only reason why
Snap though.
Canelo won that fight was because they wanted Canelo to get the last belt to be undisputed because they had the Bud Crawford fight coming up, which was the bigger money fight. That was the reason why the money was behind Canelo for the bigger money fight.
Hey, and I like to add a caveat to that. You take Bud Crawford and William Skull, that's a competitive 12-round fight right there.
hey, coach, hey, let me ask you a question. What you think about Jaleel Hackett versus Xander Zayas?
Ooh, I like that fight, man.
Let's talk about a
Ooh,
real fight. Yeah.
man, I like that, bro.
Tell me what you think how that
Ooh,
will play out.
man. I'm gonna go with Hackett, man, but that dude Xander, he can box, man. He just don't have no power. Xander don't have no power, but Jamal Hackett, he's a dog, man. I think he learned a lot from that loss, man. He seemed like he bounced back better. You know what I'm saying? So
Uh-huh.
I will probably edge Hackett in that fight, but I don't think
Mm-hmm.
it'll be easy.
Nah, it
But
ain't gonna
I'm
be
saying, you
easy.
think he can get a knockout, coach? That's the thing, because he's not gonna get a decision. Can he knock out Xander? That's the question.
He definitely
Uh,
can.
yeah. Hackett got some power, man. He can punch.
When we talk about
He can,
Xander Zayas, the pride of Puerto Rico, that's the difference.
yeah, he's a good mover. He's a good boxer, man. You know what I'm saying? But I think, like I said, I think Hackett, that loss that he took early, man. I think he learned from that. You know what I'm saying? Like he
And
bounced
I
back
didn't
pretty
really
good.
think he even lost that fight. That was debatable to me,
Yeah.
personally. But I don't know nothing about boxing. Carry on.
Shoot, I think Erickson Lubin. I think Lubin gonna beat Virgil Ortiz, man. I think he gonna stop Virgil,
Oh,
Man,
man.
they
oh my
grinding
God.
me up when I said that, coach. They
I
tore me
think
up.
Lubin gonna
You must
stop
have
him,
had you
man.
must have had a split
I didn't
before you
say
got on
stop
there.
him, but I said Lubin can beat him.
Man, Lubin gonna get beat dead.
Now I'm gonna tell you why I think Lubin gonna win, man. Because Lubin is really a good boxer, man. The only people he lost to was elite. Well, I ain't gonna say elite guys. Well,
Decent guys.
Jamel Charlo, I would say he was elite. And Fondora,
Yeah.
he just this big old tall stick, man, is be beating up everybody, man.
But coach,
So
look,
they,
You
peep
forgot what
this.
Mendoza did to him? Mendoza beat the life out of him. He beat the tacos out of him.
Out of who?
yeah, yeah. Like I say, styles make fights, man. You know what I'm saying?
He
I
was
mean,
getting
Lubin,
beat up until he smoked him at the end. I did say that last night. He lost.
yeah. I
And I was
think
trying to
All I'm
Lubin a
figure
good
saying,
out.
enough
all I'm saying,
boxer, man.
if we go back to the Hackett fight, we talking about
Yeah.
Xander Zayas. Can he get a knockout? That's the question. Can
Nah,
he
he
get a knock?
can't.
Because he's
He can't
not
knock
going to
Jalil
get.
out.
No, I'm saying can Jaleel knock out Xander because he's not going to get the benefit of the
Yes.
doubt on the cards.
You heard what Brother B said. He gonna train him to walk him down and stop him. He said he can't. Brother B. Matter of fact, Brother B is up here. I don't want to speak for him. Let Brother B on here.
I think that Xander Zayas is a great boxer. I watch him in the amateurs. I watch him in the pros. The pros, Xander's a great boxer. He has he has good lateral movement, not great lateral movement, and he has uh he has a mental disposition based on drinking bad Kool-Aid. And the reason I say that is because they've put the right people in front of him to where he thinks he's a puncher. And he's not. Now, I look at Jaleel, and I'm a realist. Jaleel style, I'm going to give Xander the edge in boxing. I'll give Xander the edge in that. But man was not made to go backwards. And by the time I think Xander, with his youth, he's a young lion, a lot of testosterone running through him. He's gonna try his hand based on what they Jim Jones him into believing that he's a puncher. By the time he realized he's not a puncher, Jaleel has hurt him really badly. When you think about it, Jaleel's last 4 opponents, they had a combined record. I think it was like 57-3. So he hasn't been put in front of guys that can't fight. But if you notice, each one of them, including the loss, Jaleel hurt every last one of them. He hurt them all. Pete Dobson, what did Pete say? Jaleel bust both my eardrums. He had me kind of messed up there.
But no, but brother Bernard, what happened at the end? What happened at the end of that Pistol Pete fight?
We won.
No, what happened at the end? What was he doing at the end?
What was he doing? Pete was still game.
He was kind of kicking Jaleel's ass a little bit towards the end of that fight, man.
Nah, hell no.
He was laying hands on him. I don't know if he ran out of gas.
Let me speak on that. I'll give you a lot of credit in that. That was Jaleel's 8th pro fight, number 8, against a guy who just came off of a 12-round decision loss to Conor Benn in his first 10-round fight. Our plan was the first 7-8 rounds, we must put them in the bag. We cannot lose not one of those, because until you actually do 10 or 12 rounds, you don't know if you can. Your body hasn't been in there under the lights. Round 8, Jaleel took it off. That was our plan. Take off round 8. Round 9, we just wanted to play it even. If we play it even, we're good with that. Round 10, fight like you don't have nothing to live for tomorrow. If you go back and watch the last round, Jaleel hit him with a triple hook. He hit him with a right hand hook, then another triple hook. Go look at the last round. So if that's a dead man walking, I don't mind taking that dead man into a battle. And for his first time in 8 fights, you tell me if you think any of the young prospects of Jaleel's generation could take a Pete Dobson fight in the same scenario with only 8 pro or going into their 8th pro fight and get a W. Matter of fact, you tell me which one of their promoters would even think about doing
I mean, go ahead, Coach Eddie.
I mean, that's the only thing we got that and this is because, hey, brother Bernard is my friend in real life. People know that. But my only thing is, we would have to see how the gas tank look in those bigger fight in those later rounds, because even with Elijah, I knew he was gonna knock him out, but it might have been better to play with him a little bit more to get the rounds in, because the question is, what happens when it gets late in the fight? I think as the fight gets later, huh?
I don't teach my son to play with no food. I've never told my son to play with no food. We don't extend no. Look here, if somebody went the distance with my son, they really went the distance with my son. We do not play with no food. I've never taught him to play with food. I've never taught him to not kill an animal that relied on you killing him. We've never done that. See, that's the thing about this fight that's intriguing. Mm-hmm. You have a Xander Zayas, who's a tough kid. He's a great fighter. He's an excellent boxer. None of y'all ever called him a warrior. None of y'all ever called him a monster. None of y'all ever called him a boogeyman. None of you all have ever said anything dangerous about Xander Zayas. Not one time.
No.
But all of the people who talk about Jaleel, at some point in time, say shit that's called dangerous words. He'll hurt you real bad. He has the attitude that doesn't play with you. Me and BBO, like BBO just said, he is my man. And it's crazy he my man, because me and him don't never agree on nothing. But he my man, 100%. And he's told me about a couple of fighters, a couple of different fighters, a couple of young ones in there that, man, if Jaleel get in there, I don't know, coach. But then the minute that is said in public, they turn Jaleel into John Wick. He is Baba Yaga. Please do not put my son's name in the same conversation with Jaleel. They tell him that.
Now, Coach
People tell
B,
him that.
let me
Yo,
ask
I
you
want
something.
to say something too. Oh, my bad,
Hold on,
bro.
real quick, Coach. Hold on, real quick, Coach B. Now,
Yes,
one
sir.
of our brothers in the chat had said that when we was saying, we want that fight next, Jaleel and Xander, they were saying, what has Jaleel done to deserve a fight with Xander? And I wanted you to break that down. They saying Jalil's ranked like 100 and something and 54 and all this stuff. So
I got you.
I kind of want to know. I want to get your I want you to explain that because I couldn't explain it like you. I wanted to,
I got you.
but I couldn't
I
do
love
it.
his
So I'm gonna
question.
let you go.
I love his question. Let me say this. How many fighters at the championship level over the history of anybody's independently watching boxing have they seen champions fight what they call voluntary defenses against guys who ain't even ranked by box record? Nobody else is ranked. They not 100 nothing. They nothing to nothing, but they fight them. So what did they do to deserve that opportunity? Now I'll go with my son. My son is, it's been said, not me saying it. Look at fights, multiple fights. And even the commentators say, this is one of the hardest move prospects I've seen. Shout out to Jalil Hackett for taking these fights because they're comparing them to other prospects who their camps, their teams, their promoters would never even offer the fight. They wouldn't even offer to take it because they know they would. Now, when you say the relevance of the fight, why it's a great question. If you're a fan of Xander Zayas, you want him to fight Jalil Hackett. Let me explain why. If he fought Fundora, if he fought Ortiz, if he fought Boots, if he fought the IBF champion, I'm sorry, I missed his name, Muay. If he fought any of those guys, he would be the preemptive underdog. 90-10. Just, and it's not me saying it. Once again, look at the Vegas bookies. They would make him a supreme underdog. For whatever the reasoning is, they would do it. Now, if he took one of those fights and fought those guys who have belts, and he loses, no matter how he loses, that belt is gone for good. Because when unification bouts, there is no rematch. So if I beat this kid, I don't have to fight him again. Whether it's a good fight, bad fight, knockout fight, no matter what it is. They move on. He's forgotten about Top Rank got to rebuild. Now, we can agree that Top Rank have invested millions into Xander. Just with its fights alone. Me learning the price of these fights, just with that alone. So they're not in the business of getting their potential megastar from Puerto Rico beat up, but they do have to put him in good fights. Now, if he fights Jalil Hackett and Jalil does what we think will do and beat him, no matter how it is, Bob Arum, the businessman, knows for a fact he has a rematch. So he gets an opportunity to bring his young Puerto Rican star back and potentially get his belt back. If that isn't business 101, I don't know what business 101 is. Now, I'll go to when I was with BBO on the show with you guys, and this was before they said anything. I said Bob Arum is going to bring up 147. He is going to hurry up and get him ranked at 154, and then he's going to put him in front of Xander. Xander's going to beat him up, and then they'll give you this vision of he's the next Felix Trinidad. And then I said they're going to bring up probably Santillan, who the last time we really saw him, Santillan was getting put on his face, and Brian Norman was taking a squat down picture like they was at a go-go in 1985 at the Panorama Room in D.C. And that's who you want to say your Mexican star has started his reign with. Now, me saying that, the next day, they put out Xander and Santillan through one of their social media friends, because that's how this business works. See if it catch legs. When they put it out, shout out to the Puerto Rican fans of real boxing. Man, they shot that shit down like a duck right before Thanksgiving. They shot that shit down. They
They was
said if
duck
you put
hunting on
that
Nintendo, coach. That's
what
crazy.
if you put that fight on, we are not coming. You can put that on. You can put that on the Jesus Christ versus the devil card, and we are not showing up to see that fight.
That's crazy.
And when they did that, 3 to 7 hours later, all of a sudden, Xander, through his team, says, "I'm not fighting him. I want to fight the WBA new champion of boss." Soon as they said that, Jaleel posted, "Great. I'm glad to see a young champion hunting. I can't say nothing about that fight because it's a unification." We immediately said, "Great. We'll take a back seat." A boss wants a shitload of money to go put his belt on
$7
a
million.
piece of toast. Okay, 7 million to put his belt on a piece of toast, put butter and jelly on it, and then speed it to Xander. He wants 7 million because everybody knows that that's what they're gonna do if he goes down. So that's not happening. So we have the WBA champion who they're not gonna get 7 million because Xander ain't gonna get 2 million. He gonna get less than that. Then you got Fundora, you got Keith Thurman, you got Ortiz, you got Boots Ennis, you got everybody they could possibly think of that they could get him to fight is already locked up. Now he wants to fight in the island before the end of the year. Tell me what other fighter he can fight that brings a 50-50 fight to the stage that the Puerto Rican fans will not be in an uproar about him fighting. Check the Puerto Rican blogs. They said, "Damn, Jaleel Hackett willing to come back. We respect him." I think we got some Puerto Rican fans.
Yeah. What did you have for
No,
me, Coach Eddie? My bad.
no
Go ahead,
doubt.
Coach Eddie.
Yeah, me too, coach. My bad, Eddie.
Yeah, I just want to say I favored Jaleel Hackett to win that fight. I'm gonna tell you why. Because in the last fight when I seen with Xander, I seen a guy who had a little bit. He started to give a little bit towards the end. Seemed like he started to wilt. He was just basically kind of boxing but waiting out the clock. He started doing a lot of holding and grabbing and turning and kind of went. I'm not gonna say so much of survival mode, but he wasn't. It seemed like he started this wilt a little bit, started to give a little bit. And I've seen that, and I think that Hackett would definitely be able to press the issue on this kid, man. Especially going to his body, man. That's gonna be the key, man. Slow them legs down, man. Touch that body, and that kid is there to be hit with overhands too, man. You know, I call it a swim move. You hit him with the swim move, you're gonna catch that kid because sometimes he keeps his head on the line and he keeps his chin up in the air, man. And I could definitely see Hackett putting him down, man. You know what I'm saying, and keeping that pressure on him. I'm saying that kid don't like pressure, man. Xander, he's a good boxer. He don't like it, man. You go back
Very
and
good
watch that
boxer.
fight, you see what I'm saying. He has a little bit of give in him, look, just a little bit. And I think if he
Well,
keep that pressure, go
I
ahead,
hate that
brother.
hey,
Ramos
coach.
move, though. I
Hey,
hate that.
hey,
My bad.
coach.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Hey, coach. You know where I come from? What they call that?
What's that?
He got a little cur in him.
That
He got a little cur in him.
was
Yeah.
crazy.
And coach, you laugh so you understand what that is. He got a little cur in him. What my son come from is what they call prize winning grand champion grade A stock. His pedigree. When you talk about Jaleel's pedigree and what separates him from the rest of his generation, Jaleel came up in a gym with the Russell brothers. Those are uncles to Jaleel. And they never praise you. Nobody gets praise in there. Because they say, if this is what we do every day in training, why am I praising you for doing your job? That means I ain't think you were going to do it. So you don't get praised. As a young child, Jaleel had to learn how to swim because you can go on YouTube. That's the difference. Go on YouTube. Look at Jaleel Hackett as a little kid when Gary would say, "Come on, Jaleel, I need some rounds from you." We're talking about a 9, 10-year-old Jaleel, and Gary is saying, "I'm gonna touch you to the point where you should be touched." Jaleel had busted noses and stuff from them teaching him how to be a dog before he ever had anything like that in any fights. You got to remember the pedigree. Y'all, a lot of times, I say y'all, I mean the average person that thinks about boxing, they consider your pedigree the person who coached you. I consider your pedigree the dog that was biting you. These guys of Jaleel's generation, they've never been bit before. That's why they keep trying to offer us the guys from the generation before us, but they don't offer them to those guys because they've never been bit. Never. And they don't want Jaleel to be the first person to bite him because Jaleel don't play. He don't play by the conform rules. I bite you and I scatter bite. No, when he bites for the jugular. Jaleel does get hit when he fights. I've never argued against that. But he gets hit because he's hunting. It's a difference between a dog trying to bite you to survive and a dog trying to bite you to kill you. Xander's gonna bite, no joke, but he's biting to survive. Watch his fights. Xander thinks these are boxing matches. This is still a sport to Xander. Watch him box. I say it myself, he's an excellent boxer, but ain't no killer in there. Watch Jaleel fight from the amateurs till now. Everything about him is to kill. And if you basing that on your knowledge of boxing between dogs and pets, you gonna go with a dog before you go with a pet.
But that being said, we've always seen the slick fighter beat the come forward fighter. How can you
Not
guys
always,
overcome
brother.
that? The only time we didn't really see it was when Oscar beat Pernell. And that kind of was a little bit of I don't know, I won't say robbery because I thought Oscar won, but I remember Pernell put him on his pockets and everything. It's tough. It's really tough to see. It's really tough to be a come forward fighter versus slick fighter. I would say.
Now we seen Triple G dismantle slick fighters. We seen Marvin Hagler do it. We seen Joe Frazier do it. We seen George Foreman do it. We've seen all kind of people come forward. And I mean, I won't say Triple G because Triple G dismantled plenty of people who tried to escape, who tried to run, tried to do whatever. He took them out. Now I want to bring up one more thing too. Now what we just witnessed with Terrence Crawford, don't you know that this man sparked the inspiration? Because a lot of the fighters that are up under him, they look up to this guy. That's their Floyd Mayweather. Just like, Michael Jordan and Kobe, we like, Terrence Crawford looked up to Floyd. Now these guys up under him looking up to Terrence. And they seeing how Terrence got the job done. And they seen how Terrence put that pride back in the black community, so to speak, a good, ambassador for the sports. You want to think that they put a battery in them guys back, man? To go out there and want to put on like Big Brother? See, people forget about that, man. It's called inspiration, brother. And a fighter's performance can inspire you, man. So it's gonna
And
be
that's why we
tough,
want to
man.
fight Xander in Puerto Rico. Hey, brother, what you saying was the reason why we want to fight Xander in Puerto Rico. Y'all be looking at that home field advantage like it's an advantage. It's a disadvantage. Because then people will trick you into getting killed out there. And that hype of the crowd, when you start getting broke down, that hype of the crowd will keep you trying to do something that you already know you can't do. And you talk about slick boxer versus fighter. Didn't Chavez beat the life out of motherfuckers? And when it comes to beating the life out of somebody, y'all know I'm a Chavez man. I don't care what you say. If Richard still don't stop that fight, one more shot could have killed Mildred Taylor because he went to the hospital and had to get blood transfusion. I'm talking about that's the difference. That's the difference in a pet versus a dog. Chavez was just a dog. Mildred Taylor, he was a great pet that understood how to score points. But when it came time to kill, he was still trying to score points. We're not going in here with the misconception that we can go to Puerto Rico and win a decision over Xander. I'm not going to be a fool and tell you that. So our whole training method is to go out there in 8 to 9 rounds and stop his ass. Xander's gas tank. Y'all want to talk about Jaleel? When have y'all seen Jaleel take a backward step, even in Puerto Rico, where the commentator said, I saw Jaleel, the weight cut was horrible. He said it was horrible. He saw him. But when did you see Jaleel take a backward step in that fight? You didn't. And the reason why is simple. The boy is game bred. When you game bred, that means your mama and your daddy can kill. The rest of these dudes ain't game bred. Y'all know Xander daddy? Do y'all know
Yeah.
Xander mama?
No.
But y'all do know his coach, right?
Yeah.
So he could have came from a straight line of curves. Do you know an uncle that he had that was a fighter? Do you know an aunt that he had that was a fighter? Do you know a cousin that he had that was in a bar fight?
No.
So once again, you don't know if he is a cur till he get in there with a real dog. That's why I said if we knock Xander out, and I don't say if for the fans because I know we're gonna knock him out, but we knock him out, that's the day they're gonna fall in love with him. Because if he put his heart on the line for 8 rounds and don't quit on the stool, then they're gonna love him. In the rematch, I think he'll do better, same outcome, just maybe a little later. But they'll love him, not because he won fights, but because he showed that Puerto Rican heart. Why do you think they turned down the Santillan fight? Because the Puerto Rican said, are you crazy? You ain't gonna come in here with no gutless situation just to make you look good. You do that shit in Atlantic City, Vegas, or New York, but don't come to the island with that.
Yeah. I don't think that was his choice, though, Brother Bernard. That wasn't his choice.
BBO,
Bro,
let me read some of the chat real quick.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Do your thing.
My bad, bro.
I just got 2 questions for you. Well, the chat does. Shout out to brother Curtis Robinson, a channel member. He says Jaleel has never really been tested. I'll let you get to both these questions, Coach. And then another one said, I think my brother TD said Jaleel rarely goes to the body, basically. So those 2 questions, I'll let you break them down.
Question number 1.
Mm-hmm.
From the time, that's why I love when people become fans of boxers, because it's usually after they got where they are. Please tell me historically, from amateurs on up, because I think I partly answered this question before, but I'm asking again. When you saw Xander in the ring with dogs, you didn't. But if you check Jaleel's pedigree, Jaleel has never said nothing about pro sparring. You all have never heard nothing about pro sparring from Jaleel. But you heard about it from the pros. Boots Ennis. Jaleel got more rounds with him than anybody else. And his dad has said, when I need somebody to drive that wagon, I call him. J. Rock Williams, the only dude that came out and said, hey, y'all don't understand the type of dog he is. He just fighting at the wrong weight class. Move him up to 54, where he got to cut that weight. He dangerous. We constantly been in camp with him. Gary Russell Jr. and all his brothers, who are known dogs, who are known to run people out the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Once again. And when you look at hold on, I'm gonna give y'all a Louis Earls. Ask Leonard Ellerby, ask Louis Earls when he was getting ready for the fight versus Jerry Hurd. They flew Jaleel on to be the sparring partner. And after he won, what did Louis Earls say? Man, this young boy pushed me and got me ready for that fight. And then I'm gonna go to this one, because Coach Calvin said Jaleel been in camp with Tank as a primary sparring partner since he was 15. Tank been getting money. So you think you're gonna bring a 15-year-old in there to be your primary sparring partner and you fighting for millions of dollars? If he not doing something that's unusual for a fighter, not a 15-year-old. That's all I say. I put pedigree on the line. Like I said, it's a lot of these guys in every city in America that if you ask them what kind of dog they got, I got a blue nose. I'm not gonna tell you that. I'm gonna tell you I got some of this Boudreaux stock. I got some hip heel. I got some craw. I got that. I got some
Yeah.
Budweiser, some Zebo, some Jeep. I got that. And everybody else who know what's being said, they say, man, leave that man alone. He got a man. He don't even know what he got. He got a $50 dog. I don't have a $50 dog.
Mm.
A lot of these guys got bullies. I don't have a bully. I have a American Pit Bull Terrier. And once again, I will say to BVO, every time you bring somebody to my attention, you mention them in real life, they shut down. This ain't me saying that this, once again, this fact.
That's true.
You ain't tell me why you ain't never heard a young prospect out of all these prospects that call each other out. Tell me why you never heard one of them called Jaleel.
I think they scared of him, man. To be honest with
You and I didn't say some. I said you haven't heard not one. Not one. He is agent zero of motherfucking boxing because not one of them call him out.
I'll share this quick story. I'll share this quick story. They, you know, Africa, pretty cool dude. My father knows his aunt, and you know, I guess him and Jaleel had issues, and apparently Jaleel pulled up on Africa, and they was able to settle in the ring. So shout out to them for doing that, man, because Africa was
that's
mad.
my guy.
But they was able to pull up and make it happen. And from what I heard, they just came. They ain't bring no extra guys. You know, my man Africa had 50 niggas with him, but Jaleel and them came with nobody.
Hey, let me tell you something. I don't never go nowhere. LA, Vegas, New York, Philly. When I go, let me tell you who in my car. Me, Jaleel, my son Rob, my wife, and my grandson Wee Bean. That's who in my car. And we go into the roughest situations, and dudes know that's all I'm bringing. So what you need 50 niggas for? You know why? Because I'm going to go into battle with game bread. You coming into battle with bullies.
That's what I do, Coach. The last time I've been to the fights in Philly, I was at the fights at the Armory. You know, it was kind of hood there. You know, everybody was out there. Man, I had my daughter, my shorty, and me. I wasn't worried about nothing. You know what I mean? I went in there and did what I did, and I had a great time. And I don't worry about that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I just don't. So I got you. I felt you on that one.
Let me tell you, bro. When in that same story, they sparring. Africa brother is my guy. He will forever be my guy since that. My son Rob, the Africa brother was like the round over. So Africa stole Jaleel. Jaleel stole Africa. They over in Africa corner. His brother said, go ahead to round over. Jaleel said, oh, nigga, turn that clock off. So Africa said, fuck it, let's go. They get to going with no clock. Africa brother throw water on them, trying to get them to stop. My son Rob jumped up on the apron. He was like, bro, you throw another bottle of water, it means you gonna get a hit. My little grandson say, don't you do nothing to my uncle. He was at that time like 3. He hopped up there. I said, brother, hey, that's what stopped the African brother say, man, y'all crazy. He said, Lil Charlotte. I said, brother, in my house, we only have one job. We killers. If you saw 300, the man say, I'd rather go in battle with my 300 than have to worry about the safety of you guys. Because your daytime job is a baker or a blacksmith. My 24-hour job is a killer.
Now, Coach, look, another some more brothers in the chat got a question. One, it's the same brother. Shout out to Brother Curtis. He said Jaleel versus Jack Catterall, and also Jaleel versus Mabili. How you see them going?
And Billy is too big. That man, and Billy big as hell. If you
Yeah,
have ring with Billy,
yeah, he's a little big again.
Hey, no. Let me speak on that.
Big as hell.
Let me speak on that. We ain't no fools, man. Let me tell you something. If certain
I'm just asking the question that the brothers want to know.
No, that's a good question. I respect this question.
Okay.
When we get asked to go spar with some of these dudes, we'll go spar. If we get the better of it, that don't mean we coming to light heavyweight over 168. We just had a good day. One thing we do recognize, sparring is in 16-ounce gloves. Sparring has a headgear on, and sparring dudes are working on things at the top level. But when you change them gloves to 8s or 10s, that's when brain damage occurs. And if a dude is 175, 168 on weigh-in night, I know the next day he's a heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
I know what my son is. My son weighs in at 54. He's not 54 the day-to-day fight. So I wouldn't even do. And Billy, I love to spar with him because I fuck with Slim. I like his dog mentality. But as far as moving up there, by the time we get up to that weight class, and Billy probably being senior citizen, he'd be an old man. When it comes to any of the other guys, I say the same thing. And like Catterall and them guys, I like them. I really do like a lot of them guys. If they offered those guys to us, we wouldn't have a problem. And I don't speak on names, but I will say this. Since we've been with Matchroom, they offer some name guys to fight with Jaleel. And they've turned it down. We didn't turn down shit. They said, why am I fucking with him?
They know
and
that.
I talked to one of their teams, and they said nothing personal at your son. We ain't saying there's nothing to gain, but there's every fucking thing to lose. He comes like a monster. He doesn't slow down, and he's gonna fight. We not looking for that. And I laugh with him. I say, yeah, because y'all already at the point of y'all career where y'all made gentlemen's agreements. And we from the Zulu part. We don't know what gentlemen's agreements are. If you watch let me explain that so people won't get confused. Fighters make gentlemen agreements 99 out of 100 fights, 99.9 out of 100 fights. Gentleman agreement is when both fighters dancing in the corner, they looked at each other mean. Then the first bell go off, they come rushing out the corner and they both stop. They get to the middle ring and stop. That's a gentleman's agreement because neither one knew what was going to happen, but they knew that gentlemen make this agreement. And then they look at each other, and then the commentator says, this going to be a bomb burner, but this is the feel-out round. Jaleel don't do feel-out rounds. Any fight you seen him, Jaleel come from the Zulu tribe. When we throw the first spear, we running behind you. We trying to put hands on you. We ain't trying to look at you.
Facts.
These dudes don't fight like that no more. Jaleel throwback fight.
Yo, that what I was telling guys too. They thought I was crazy. I said, let me tell you something. The greatest Terrence Crawford is, he need to stay far away from Billy, because Billy gonna make you fight from the time the bell rang to the time it ends. And it is what it is. You can hit that man with everything in the kitchen sink, and guess what? He gonna keep coming.
And I'm gonna tell you on that, and Billy Joint, if that was something that was to happen, the reason I'm gonna go with Bud Crawford is because of Billy's heart. His heart is so big, and he relies on his punch, but he believed in that like his religion. Terrence, at this point in his career, is such a sharp shooting marksman. He'll use that against him. He'll touch short on his chin, touch short with the body shot, rock off, hit him with a right hand, pull a hook, and rip an uppercut. He'll use his bravado and his style against him. Remember, everything is a style. And Billy's style is come forward and fight. He doesn't have a reverse button on that. The last
it's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be easy. No. The last guy I saw like that. Remember Lemieux? Remember the Canadian Lemieux?
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
He only had one gear, and it was going forward. And as long as he could impose that gear, he was good. When he got hit by a sharp punch in Triple G, changed his world.
I think the only thing that would concern me about that fight is I don't believe that Bud has enough firepower to discourage that boy, man.
I don't think you would call it firepower. I tell you this, Jaleel has been sparring with some guys, and his best knockdowns wasn't when he hit him with the power. It was when he hit him with precision and sharpness. Zoom! That thing was in there, man. It go down. That's the punches that I fear. Because even when most fighters, even my son at times, because he's still growing his career, they shoot shotguns. Shotguns scatter everywhere. Terrence Crawford, he's a precision guy. He's using a marksman's rifle. One shot, one kill. That's the shit that hurts guys like Billy. And if you were telling me, like, I use my son, I don't like using nobody else's person. If my son was in there with a person like a Bud and they were fighting, that's my biggest fear. Bud's gonna let you shoot your shotgun because he's gonna decipher through all that shotgun shell. He going to decipher where I see the opening for that precision marksman shot. That's the shot
Mhm.
that's gonna kill you. That's the
He
shot that's
got
gonna
that.
kill you.
He got that A+ IQ. That's what. It's not so much that he can hit you with one punch and drop you and smoke you. He can do that too, but
Yeah.
I think that he would like accumulate a bunch of things. He would be like he could beat that boy Billy. I don't think that. I think Terrence Crawford IQ is just like Floyd Mayweather. I'm not saying his defense is like Mayweather, but as far as his IQ, knowing where he's at, knowing how to, hit his glove. Not, he might flick a shot out there that might hit his glove, but that's just to move his glove out of the way so he can set. He just do little tricky
Yeah.
things, bro. You know
I
that I
But
no,
that's the
noticed.
I don't
reason why
think
he can stick it inside. That's the reason
I
Yeah,
why
don't
he
so
I
comes
don't
and
you
get
think
know what
sit in
I'm
the
talking
front.
about, right? Coach beat Coach
Yeah.
B. When
I don't
he
think
hit your
Crawford
glove,
stop. I don't
but
think
he'll
Crawford
really be.
stops him though. I don't think Crawford
Huh?
stops him.
No, no, I
I don't
won't
think he
expect him to
stops him.
stop him, but I expect him to outbox him and out IQ him for sure.
I think
That
it'll be a
guy IQ
very.
is
I
maybe
think
a
it'll be a
C+
hard,
at best.
hard fought victory. That's what
Now
I think.
Billy's
I got in
IQ is a
Billy's team.
C+ at
It'll be
I
best.
a
got
hard.
in
It'll
Billy's
be a
team
hard
loving
fight
him.
victory.
I I got in Billy's team loving him enough to stop that shit on the stool.
It'll be a hard fight victory. I don't think Bud throws enough punches. I think that you put Bud in there with somebody like Demetrius Andrade. It's like looking in the mirror, fighting a bigger version of yourself.
Yeah, but I think like Bud, even though Billy throw a lot of punches, Bud's IQ is so high. I think that he would neutralize that. We seen fighters that throw a lot of shots. When you get there
Now
with the
hold
right
on.
one, they don't throw none of that shit. That
But
shit is out the window.
we seen this before. We seen Floyd, who has the highest IQ that we possibly ever seen, getting there,
Mhm.
and made Marcos Maidana getting that work for a long time. That was no easy fight.
Yeah, Floyd, how old was he?
But like I said, but man, Billy's a much bigger fighter than
Yeah,
Terrence
I get
Crawford.
you. Yeah, he's a big guy.
He's a
Yeah, no doubt.
he's a swarmer, man. I
Yeah,
mean
no doubt.
that dude. I seen that dude get hit with everything, and I was waiting for one of them to fall. I was waiting for Lester to fall, or I was waiting for him to fall, and neither one of them did. And I was waiting for one of them to get tired and the other one to get tired. And I'm like, when is this dude gonna get tired? That's what I was sitting there waiting. Because man, Billy's a
Yeah,
muscle bound dude.
yeah,
I said, this dude should be tired by now.
But
Why
it's
ain't he tired?
IQ though. You can be
You know
muscle
what I'm
bound and
saying?
all that, but that IQ is where I think Terrence Crawford has the edge because of his IQ. But Billy might do all of that, and you're right. But I just feel like Terrence Crawford IQ would neutralize a lot of that stuff,
I
and
think
we would
Crawford
be
gonna
like,
wake up.
"Damn, what's wrong with Billy? Why is he not throwing a bunch of punches tonight?" Da da da. Da. We'd be asking him questions during the fight.
I think Crawford
I,
wake up the next morning and feel like he been through a meat grinder.
Maybe so, but they probably
Yeah,
win. He
because
probably win
that
8-4, 7-5. Yeah, for sure.
we're gonna be. But I think somebody like Andrade, like certain styles, you know that the style is gonna be a clash. I think Demetrius Andrade and Terrence Crawford, that's a clash of styles, man. That would be like looking in the mirror right there. You got two
yeah,
guys who
but
can
you
box, and that would be a chess match right there.
You know, as far as long until they get deeper and then rounds, then I
yeah.
think even then I think Terrence Crawford IQ.
I,
I don't
to
think
be
nobody
honest,
got an IQ like
I
him,
would
Coach
favor
B.
Andrade in that. I would favor Andrade in
That's
that
cool.
fight.
Yeah, he long, wiry frame. I get it. Big guy. But look at what we doing. Like we expect Terrence Crawford to fight these gigantic super middleweights. But that's what they do to the brothers. But hey,
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
know.
hold on. But keep it 100 now. Now, to be fair, now you run your victory lap, and that's fine. But you got all the belts, brother, and you the champion, and these other guys want to eat. This is like you dealing with dogs, man. These guys, you got something that everybody want. Now, if you're gonna hang out in 168, either give up, get off the belts, and you got to fight somebody.
And that's cool. But he beat the biggest dog though, Coach, at
That
68.
dude wasn't no
He
big, the
beat top.
biggest fraud, man. That dude ain't no
Man,
dog. That
Canelo was
dude been,
top dog at 68.
man.
We're
That
not
dude
doing that
been
over
ducking,
here.
bro. That dude been
No.
ducking a lot of smoke,
Yeah, he
man.
been definitely ducking smoke, but he still was the top dog at 68. And I'm not going to diminish Terrence Crawford's victory. He beat the number one 168, undisputed, first ever super middleweight champion. So he beat the top dog. He don't got to fight Caleb Plant and Andrade and these guys. And he went to the top dog at the top of the
But
mountain and knocked the dude off.
But hold on, this is the misconception right here. I think this is my opinion that just because you beat one guy, you automatically beat them other guys by default, and
No,
that's
I didn't
not
say
how.
that.
But a lot of people have that conception that's how
Yeah,
this thing works, and it doesn't work like that. Ken
yeah.
Norton could not get paid. I mean, Ali and Ken Norton, they could fight 100 times. It's gonna look the same way because some guys just your style just don't match up with. But Ken
Yeah, no
Norton gets
doubt.
destroyed by Joe Frazier. I'm not Joe Frazier. I mean George Foreman.
Foreman.
So it's like just because you beat one guy, don't automatically by default mean that you beat everybody else. I think
I
that's the
know, but he
problem with.
still beat the top dog though.
Yeah, I
Canelo's
understand.
the
I'm just
top
saying
dog.
that's the thing with accolades, man. I think a lot of times the only thing that separate a reason why a lot of these guys are not champions because they didn't get an opportunity.
Coach,
It's
coach,
only
who's the best 168 fighter?
Right now,
160.
Well,
I
we know
think
Terrence Crawford is, but
I say
prior to
I
that,
say when you
Canelo
say the
Alvarez.
best, or
that's what
do
I'm
I think
saying.
I say when you say the best, you say the best, or do I think there's somebody that could beat him?
No, the best.
Yeah, Canelo. I put it like this: Canelo had all the belts. Do I think he was the best 168? I thought it was some guy that could beat Canelo at
Like who?
168, even though he had all the belts, but he didn't get an opportunity.
Who?
I
Coach?
thought David would beat Canelo Alvarez,
No,
but he
David
did,
Benavidez moved on. Yeah, I thought he could beat him too,
but he
but
didn't get an opportunity.
you're
I
right. So he
thought,
ducked
and
him. So we both agree on that. After
and I
that,
and I,
since
al- and
David
I
moved to
always
75, who's the next best
I
super
always felt
middleweights?
like I always felt like Andrade would beat Canelo Alvarez because he can't deal
Me
with that
too.
style.
I agree with that.
I felt that for the past 10 years. And I would favor him, especially the way he look now. I'd probably favor Andrade to stop Canelo because he has that crazy one punch power. He might not knock you down, might not knock you out, but he'll put you down.
I
And,
think
and, and
Canelo can beat him, but
nah, Canelo washed, bro. That dude ain't no man. Canelo is. I ain't gonna say washed. I never thought very highly of Canelo. I'm not saying this because the Bud beat him. I'm on record saying this since 2014. I
me too.
never thought
And I probably is
very
riding with
high.
you.
I've never thought very highly of Canelo because I've seen how he strategically ducked people. I seen that he was
Mhm.
a Hulk Hogan of boxing. He the one that
Good
got the push,
businessman.
and they put him out there because they needed somebody else to carry that torch after Mayweather. And
A
he was the
good
guy.
businessman in Canelo Alvarez. But nevertheless,
I
I still think he was the
I don't give
best.
him a hard way. I
I
don't give
think
him
he
a
was the
hard.
best, Coach B. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't give him a hard way. And the reason I say it, if you take any coach and you tell him, I'm gonna give you a 15-year-old kid who doesn't come from boxing royalty, and I want you to get him to the point where we can get him to America and make him a star. Canelo turned pro at 15. I don't know too many 15-year-olds who you can put in boxing's worst position who can fight their way out of that, get the eyes, and then make it here and do what he does. As a body of work is how I rate Canelo. And as a body of work, he's one of the top 10 fighters I think I've ever seen with my own time. And he's definitely one of the top 5 of his time. I think what we do a lot of times, we decipher fighters, we break fighters down, we dissect them, and then when we do that, we don't look at the fact of what they brought to the game help keep the game going. Canelo helped keep the game going when Floyd was stepping away. Now that Bud has beat him, if he steps away and Bud steps away, who is the next guy in the shadow that's gonna run things? If we lose Bud, we lose Canelo, we lose Tank all at one time. Do you realize the biggest grossing boxer is Jake Paul?
You remember that song called "And the Beat Goes On"? That's boxing, brother. And the
No, I
beat
understand.
goes on.
No, I understand. And that's why bro. I love the way you put that. That's why I don't cross over eras. You've never heard me say anything, but my son wants to be the best fighter of his era against the best fighters of his era. I don't want to cross over eras. If the opportunity comes and we take the fights because we're in a blood sport game, you got to take the fights. But you're never going to see a lot of these at their best situation. If you see Xander and Jaleel fight Honduras or any of them guys or the Charlos 3 to 4 years from now, that's not a prime version of none of those guys. That's the back end version. That's what that
Mhm.
but
is.
at the same
That
time,
Everybody act like Jaleel 28 years old. Coach, how old is your son?
He just turned 22.
Yeah, he's my son's age. So like he's got a long way to go. That's why I keep telling people they look at his record, he got a loss, a questionable loss, but I feel like all right, get that out of the way, and let's move forward. You know what I mean? Because you can tell the way he talk and how confident he is, that doesn't make or break him. You know what I mean? He's willing to do anything and show that he's the best. He's willing to take B-side money. Y'all willing to go to Puerto Rico? You already said that. You willing to do anything, but just give him his damn shot. But people then they want to start bringing up politics. He's ranked this. He hasn't done that, but nobody else did shit either. See what I'm saying? So it all, it's. I think I'm the way y'all so confident. I'm ready to put y'all in there with any one of them 54 pounders. I think all of them are 50-50 shot because Jalil gonna come in there to fight, to stop you, to beat you. He'll go in there and sacrifice. He'll do whatever he has to do to win. And if he come up short, it's cool, and he can live with that because he's very, very confident dude, young boy. So
Man,
I think all of them 54 fights is
bruh,
50-50.
let me
Yeah,
let me
see,
tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all good brother something. All y'all got podcasts, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
This BVO channel, yeah.
Okay. All y'all got podcasts, all y'all on the shows. Do you understand why we in the predicament we in? I'm asking y'all, do y'all understand why?
Educate them, coach. Educate them.
Because I'm gonna tell you why. It's because y'all got behind us. Y'all started putting up stuff. Y'all questioned us, and y'all gave us a chance to answer the question. You had a public debate where we the only ones that had to show up to defend our position. We defended it. Y'all posted it. Other channels, J Hardcore, all the other JBT channels, were sharing stuff, and it made the bigger podcast guys reach out to us and say, "Hey, we want to interview you. We want to get you on our channel." Because it started picking up legs. Do you know right after the fight, Jalil said he wanted to fight Xander? And one of the best brothers in the game. And I beat for him hard. Bill Haney, he told me, put your foot on the gas pedal in the lobby of the hotel. And he said, while you got your foot on the gas pedal, always find out what the world thinks. Not through a podcaster. Go on Google and say Jalil Hackett versus Xander Zayas trending. And it'll tell you what the world thinks. I did that the first night. It had basically nothing. This is a fight that's not even in the situation, blah, 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 blah. Man, do you know after y'all started pushing, after people started looking at it, after the Puerto Rican people started saying, hey, that's the fight to make. If you go and look on there today when I posted it this morning, it said the fans feel that this is a 50-50 fight. The fans feel that Jalil's willing to come to Puerto Rico. Now let him do it. Y'all did that. Don't forget, when you do like this, you giving somebody 5. You showing them your hand. When you do like this, you're pointing to either see where you want to go or accusing somebody. But when you do like this, you breaking down glass. Y'all did this after me and Jalil came on here. Y'all did this. Y'all started breaking glass. Some of the podcasters didn't call me until y'all put the fire on it. I told BBO, hey, did we start a spark? Because he texted me, I want to get you on the show. Oh, I guess we started the spark.
Mm-hmm.
And we ain't gonna dog Xander. Xander a good fighter. What we
Very
are
good.
gonna say is this. If you want to see Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns 2.0, you can only get that with Xander Zayas and Jalil Hackett. When Sugar Ray Leonard was 24, Tommy Hearns was 22. Sugar Ray Leonard was 30-1. Tommy Hearns was 32-0. They fought each other. It didn't hurt neither one of their careers. And didn't one of them get knocked out? It didn't hurt their careers. What I'm saying right now is you got a 22-year-old Xander who did what he had to do. His team did what he had to do. Bob Earl did what he had to do. He's a WBO champion. You had a 22-year-old Jalil who's already proven to the world he'll fight anybody. Nobody else on the planet that's worth fighting wants to go to Puerto Rico. So what you delaying for? Make the fight. After we knock him out, he's still going to be their star. We're going to do a rematch. We knock him out twice. I already tell you what the word going to be. That 154 was too hard for Xander to make. He moved up to 160. We gonna stay at 154 until we can't make it, and then hey, you never know, we do it again. But you all have to require this stuff to happen. You all have to require promoters. Tell me what promoter you see on television or on their podcast or on their channel or on their Instagram every day. None of them. So when they think about a fight, they sending it to the podcasters. Y'all are the new television. And when y'all put it out there, if it gets some heat, then they try to push it as a fight. But if it don't get no airtime or no heat, they don't push it. Y'all control fights. Y'all control fights. The real fans, they asking questions on y'all channels. Them the people that keep the conversation going. It's called the algorithm. We just trying to make it where Bob Earl says the most logical thing to do to keep control of that belt is to fight Jaleel Hackett. We take a loss, we get a rematch. We take a second loss, hey, we gotta figure out what the problem was. Maybe we did give him too much Jim Jones. But once again, if Jaleel and Xander fight each other now, do you know they put the rest of the 154 division on pause? And I can explain why they put it on pause.
Talk to him.
Boots, Fedora, Mutayev, Ortiz, those guys right there, Thurman, my bad. All of those guys are over or at the age of 30. Some of them as old as 37. Those guys came up in a PBC era. The PBC era, when it started, overpaid. Gave guys minimums of $5 and $7 million for fights. Now you mean to tell me them dudes making $5-7 million or even $3 million, but it's guaranteed, are willing to take a fight in Puerto Rico or anywhere else where they know they're only going to get $1.8 million? Because Xander or Jaleel are the biggest blockbuster names where they can command $5 and $7 million. They're not interested in that. So Xander can call them guys out all he wants. We know that's for show. That's a facade, not because of Xander, but because the promoters know I don't make money off of that. Do you know the fights that promoters make money off? When you get two young lions that can draw a crowd that you only had to pay $800,000 to $1.2 million to. That's where they make money. Promoters, listen, the promoters made some money off of Canelo versus Bud. But if they had to give them two guys a combined $180 million, how much more money was left? Just be honest. They don't want that fight. They don't want to keep doing that because they're not making their maximum dollar. Now, Jaleel and Xander fight in Puerto Rico, and Jaleel does what a business Bob hopes he does. Just the business Bob, not the fan Bob. Beat him. Bob know I'm bringing that back to Madison Square Garden, and it's going to be my main event. In Puerto Rico, that's not the main event. That's going to be an undercard to old girl, Amanda Serrano, because she's the pride of Puerto Rico right now. So we will be an undercard. We will be a co-main event to her. But let that knockout happen. The next one going to be in Madison Square Garden, if not Las Vegas. And Bob gonna count all the way to the bank. Because if you give Xander 1.3 million and you give Jaleel $600,000-700,000 the first time, they happy. They ain't seen that money. They too young. Then the second time you get Xander and Jaleel, Xander still might get the lion's share because it's his rematch. Shorty getting $2.8 million and Jaleel getting $1.5 million. Them dudes love you because they never seen that type of money. But if you offer if you offer Fedora $1.2 million to fight Boots for $1.3 million, them dudes both gonna look at you and say, man, make the number go up. That's the business of boxing. These two guys are so young where they don't understand the business yet. They're not fathers, they're not husbands, they don't have 18 people in their entourages looking to take care of. So they still boxing for the love of being considered the better fighter.
I
I
think
think
it'll
you
be a
also
good
got
fight.
the black and brown rivalry has been reunited and it exposed itself when Terrence Crawford beat Canelo. Because not only did the Mexican fans get upset with Crawford, but the Puerto Rican fans also did too.
Hey, but you
And
gotta think when it comes to Jalil, one of the biggest supporters of Jalil is Mexican fans. They've been supporting him forever since the amateurs. And the amateurs, they used to call him when he go to LA and Vegas to spar. They called him the Black Mexican because all he wanted to do was come forward and throw punches.
Hmm.
yeah, I just
So
seen it.
we're bringing the blacks and the Mexicans.
I thought it was weird, man. I said, why all the Puerto Ricans, are coming against Bud now? You know what I'm saying? I seen that. I thought it was a weird dynamic. And then even with I'm glad you said that because what we got now, we got a situation where the old fighters don't want to fight the young fighters, man. And it didn't used to be like that. The old fighters felt like they knew that it was their duty. It's kind of like a wrestling in the wrestling business when it's time to put a guy over, you got to let that guy beat you. You know what I'm saying? I know wrestling and boxing is two different things, but that's how it is,
It's the
with
same. Yeah, I feel you
yeah,
on that
yeah, with
concept.
Sting, yeah, like Ric Flair had to put Sting over. So what you got now, you got these older fighters who don't want to fight the young guys. They don't want to put these guys over. The first thing they say, you ain't fought nobody. Who have you fought? You don't deserve a shot. They do all this. And what they do, they want to get up there. They want to play keep away. Everybody at the top of the game, they want to play keep away and just keep the money amongst themselves. Now, if I'm Eddie Hearn, that's just me just being the wishful thinking. I get Jerron Anderson there with Bud Crawford. Whatever Bud wants, you get it. You get it for him. And I'm putting my guy in there. And I'm rolling the dice because I've lost the Bud does absolutely nothing for you. It doesn't hurt you. It does not hurt your career. Jerron boosts energy. You already walk around 185 pounds. Move your butt up to 168, 160. You fighting Bud Crawford. Bud, what's your number? What you want? 50 million? Got it. Make the fight. And put him in
Let
there.
me
Because
ask you a question.
if he beats Bud, that his stock plummets. I mean, it goes
Hey,
up, it goes through the roof.
let me ask you a question, Coach. I love that concept. But after he does that, let's say Boots beats him.
Right.
What number are you gonna pay? Because if he beats him, he goes back down to 60 or 54.
Right.
There's no money for. There's no other fight for him.
Well, I'm saying this.
You,
Okay, you remember when Floyd made all that money fighting Pacquiao and Conor McGregor, right? You know that
uh-huh.
the next fight when he fought Andre Berto, he went from 200 million down to 40 million. So these guys got to
Yeah,
realize just because you make 50 million one
yeah,
fight, every
but
time you
let's
lace
keep
up, you ain't gonna get 50 million every time you lace up.
hold up, but let's keep that thought concept of being though. Andre Berto was Al Heyman's first guy that kind of gave Al the door open. So Al always look out for Berto through loyalty. Berto was still a good fighter. Floyd needed number 49 to try to tie Marciano, and putting them two in the ring together was a logical thing. Not because Floyd realized I'm getting 40 feet, but because it was the logical thing. Because anybody else, Floyd would have been like, "Is you crazy?" Look at the business of boxing did that.
Yeah, it was
Not
a money thing. Yeah.
right. Yeah, that wasn't because of that. I want to keep that real. Yeah, that's over. And you can't ask guys, Coach. I love what you're saying because you're thinking like me. But you can't. And I'm gonna use my own son. I'm sorry. If my son get himself in a position where he's getting mandatory $10 million fights, then you jump him up to a 50, $60 million fight, and he beats that fight. You can't offer me a $2.5 million fight to get in shape no more. You can't offer me that. You might mess around and see me do a man down. Man, retire, son. We already robbed the bank. Now you want me to come back and get in shape for $2 million? That don't make sense.
And
When you
see,
when you
that's the thing.
elevate a guy that high, that's the business we in now. If you elevate a guy that high, then you really gotta live with the monster you create.
Yeah,
That's
I
that's the
agree with
that's the
that.
old that's the old saying about a house. Your my grandfather used to say, "Do you know the difference between an asset and a liability?" And as a kid, I would say no. And to me at that time, he was talking about girls. He said, "An asset will feed you when you get hungry. A liability will eat you when it gets hungry." So if you turn one of these fighters into a liability because you put him in a situation where he made 50 million in one night, don't think you're gonna turn that thing back into an asset because you created the monster.
Why I say with Bud, I mean, Boots wouldn't get. I don't think Boots would get 50 million. I think it would probably take Crawford to get 50 or 60 million to get in there with Boots. You get Crawford 50 or 60, you give Boots by 8, give him 10.
It ain't
But
no, that ain't that math don't math out. That don't even math out. That
hey,
don't
why
even
not?
math out.
Why
That,
not? Canelo just got 150 and Boots and Bud got 50.
listen to the
That's a
numbers.
huge
No,
difference,
no, no.
man.
Listen to what you're saying. I'm talking about number wise. If he's getting 50, I'm not 8. Is you crazy? I could just take my mandatory 4 and fight twice. You want me to take the risk and the lower reward? He got to at least get 15 to 17. 15 to 17. That's a whole different price part than $2 million. Man fighting for $2 and $3 million, and then you jump him up to 15 to 17. That means his scale, even if he goes back down, his scale is no longer 2 or 3 million. Yesterday's prices is not today's prices, especially if he wins. The worst thing that can happen for the promoter is he win. Because now you can't get me for 3 million no more. Oh man, that was just an anomaly, that one big payday. You better keep that anomaly going. Why you think guys who win the Super Bowl in their last season on their contract usually go somewhere else? Because yesterday's prices ain't today's prices.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But you can't create a monster and then want the monster not to eat.
Yeah, well, Coach, we definitely want the fight over here. We want it next. BVO has been making his rounds. Making
Man,
sure
y'all
that people
control it.
promote. Yeah,
Y'all control it, brother. I don't control it. Y'all control it.
yeah,
BVO, he got the
yeah,
lot. Let me tell you something. BVO, y'all, he might got the largest Latin fan base for a black person that I've seen,
yeah,
because I've gotten a lot of like fan interaction that came directly from BVO from the Spanish. If it wasn't for him putting it out there, the couple of Puerto Rican podcasters that shared it, the little soundbite, Santillan fight versus Andreas would have been gone. Lock,
mm,
stock, and barrel. We just said it. We said it 15 hours before they got a chance to let it out. But when they let it out, it was too late because we had already put the spill on it. And we said, how you gonna bring that to the islands? And the Puerto Rican fans are neck and neck with the Mexican fans on what you can sell me. Remember, they booed Danny Garcia for
yeah.
trying
They
that shit.
did.
They booed Danny for trying that shit.
Hmm.
You can't do that. Like I said, when you do those fights with Puerto Rican fans, when you do those fights with Mexican fans, you are talking about boxing historian fans, not just pyrotechnic smoke bomb fans.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
But
so that y'all did that. Y'all killed that noise.
yeah, we definitely want your son. We want y'all to reap all the benefits. We think y'all. See, we know y'all personally, so when we say things, people might not agree with it. They'll start breaking down what rank is he, what has he done, and all this stuff because they haven't been watching boxing as long as we have and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of tend to ignore them kind of people because I feel like if I let you explain it, because I can't explain it like you. And when I say that, when I be like, yo, I want Jalil versus Xander next, and people start grinding me up, I just wish I can just be like, yo, coach, you know what I'm saying? Jump on real quick and tell these fools, because I can't, nobody can explain it like you, because you're there.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all
And
get my information from BVO. I jump on all my brothers' spot. I support the
yeah,
JBT
you definitely
100%.
do.
But what
Shout
I
out
am
to
gonna say
JVT.
is, don't ignore them. Please don't ignore them. One thing
Yeah.
I learned from my arch enemy, which is Bill Haney, we just on pause right now. There is no such thing as bad conversation. There's only no conversation. So if they hate me, if they love me, as long as they talking about me, we good. It's when they don't talk about you. The
Yeah.
worst thing to do is be in boxing purgatory. Why you think they got duct tape on Xander's mouth right now? Because the boy want to say something, but they say, boy, it's already catching fire. You fuck around and say something, we forced to fight this boy, then you better put your hard hat on. Xander Zayas must have been mad at his team because 2 days after we heard he signed with Bad Bunny.
That's crazy.
I mean,
But
just hey, keeping it real. We heard 2 days later he signed with Bad Bunny. I don't know if he got rid of, his management team, but
Wow.
something shook the motherfucking tree.
I ain't never knew he was even in boxing, Bad Bunny. I just thought that I know my daughter sometimes play that kind of stuff, but I didn't know he was into boxing. That's
Now that's the new rap hustle. No joke. It's the
yeah,
new
but
rap
he's
hustle.
he's he's not. I don't consider him a rapper. He's something different. But we can
He's
move
it,
on from
but
that.
once
So
again, he got a fan base, bro. He
yeah,
got a
no
fan
doubt
base.
about it. A
He
massive
got a
fan
fan
base,
base.
massive.
Man, Jake Paul, Bad Bunny, uh, Death Row, Rock Nation, uh, a lot of you see they all getting into boxing, which ain't bad for the sport. Now you got some dudes coming in and infusing a little different look. They bring in a different fan base to the forefront. It's beneficial for young fighters. Might not be for the old fighters or the old guys like me who come from a different era of it. But for what's going on now, shit. Let Rock Nation, Baby, or one of them call us, say we trying to buy in the show. Watch the next day, he got another 400,000 fans. Look at the Mayweather effect.
Yeah,
Jalil had 45,000 fans on his Twitter and Instagram when he first started. When Floyd, look, we was at the gym. Quick story. We at the gym, late night. Floyd seen my tablet. I always have my tablet with me. The kids laugh at me. And he said, "Hey, Pops, do that thing record?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Jalil, come here." He said, "Start recording." He said, "This Floyd Money Mayweather. This my guy Jalil Hackett. I want all y'all out there to go follow." The next day, Jalil had like 100,000 plus fans on Instagram. Like the numbers went crazy.
yeah.
And Floyd is basically, if you take all of the boxing stuff away, he's a rap label owner. When I say
Oh
in the
yeah,
sense of his real bravado, he's a rap label owner. So why wouldn't I want one of them guys? One of them dudes call us and say we want to get X, Y, and Z. Once again, I just use examples. Can you imagine the Baby from Cash Money said, "Look, I want to get in on the Jalil Hackett book. Jalil, how
mm,
much it costs to get in on you?" We get in on him, and Baby said, "Oh, Shaw, do you need to be down, motherfucking Puerto Rico if you don't get this fight? He fighting, or you need to go to Puerto Rico just to go in his gym?" Baby never understand the concept of that type of stuff sale, so they gonna have them everywhere.
hmm.
I want them dudes. I don't want to lose them dudes. You,
Hell no.
them, them dudes and y'all podcasters are the salvation of boxing.
Yeah,
That
boxing
you think
media run. We run boxing media. They don't talk about boxing on ESPN or no other
nowhere.
platform but here. So let's be honest. We run
Thank
the
you.
media.
Netflix, The Zone, Amazon Prime, all of those guys have somebody dedicated to watching podcasts
Hmm.
because that's where they say if I want to invest money in this fight.
Hmm.
If it ain't hot on social media, then it ain't hot at all.
Then they come take what we say, report back to the big suits at Netflix, and then they say, "Well, this guy is this," and yeah, the money release the money because this guy's got this
Thank
followers. And
you. Do you
yeah, that's right.
understand that you podcasters are the new Nielsen ratings? I don't know if people
Like
hip to Nielsen,
like
Yeah,
that dude,
but Nielsen,
like that
yeah,
dude Showbiz. They
man,
brought him on. They
Nielsen
brought
is
him
it.
on board,
Yeah,
man.
come on,
I
man.
said, the Zone said, "Come on, Showbiz, come on over here with us."
yeah, but we don't do certain things like that to get on. But yeah, no doubt, no,
But
regardless, he got on.
Yeah, he got on.
look at
Yeah,
all of look at some of the NBA guys that have crossed over into the boxing and their podcasts is growing. Look at when the motherfucking media pulls in a celebrity from the podcast world to do the podcast version of a fight. Brother, the
Hey,
podcast is the way it is.
yeah, it's the
I want
new.
to say
They
something.
call it new
Say
media. The brothers a long time ago, some years ago, came out with the term new media, and the old media is them old racist people that won't talk about Jalil. They won't talk about certain fighters like Antoine and uh, Abdullah Mason. They'll only talk about Canelo and Ryan and Tio. You know what I'm saying? So that bridge burned down a long time ago. So now, since them brothers, set it in stone, we run the show now. You know what I'm saying, Coach? So the boxing media runs through YouTube. It's a lot of us. It's a small pool we're in. We all pretty much know each other. We all pretty much know the people in the chat, most of us, and we build the fights. I seen fights being built on channels like Earl Smith and Terrence Crawford. I remember the first time I heard that fight happen was on a channel, and I was like, "Damn!" And they ran with that, and then look, the fight turned out. So
Look
same
at,
thing with Brother
I heard,
Jalil. We we
yeah.
we we promote that fight over here, Jalil versus Xander.
Let me tell you something. I heard from a credible person. I don't put my guys out there to tell me stuff. Keep doing what you're doing because you all are on the outside of the short list, and that list is getting shorter and time is running out. If he don't get this fight in before the end of the year, and they gotta go to early next year, y'all get one in and get another knockout. It's only gonna build it even more. He was
yo,
like, man, y'all are the logical guy to fight him.
I want to say something too about the multicultural audience is coming back to boxing. Now, if you remember back in the day, you go back to even the 50s and 60s, the audience was mobbed up. A whole bunch of white people sitting along outside of the ring. All you see was white faces. Then it started to change. When Floyd and Oscar was fighting, you seen the big movie stars was coming out. Your Jack Nilsons, Jack Nicholas, your Tom Hanks, your Ron Howards, all them. Then the faces changed again. Now you started seeing a bunch of black people coming. Your rappers, your entertainers, they were sitting ringside. If you notice the audience at the Netflix, you had the rappers were there, the actors were there, the athletes was there from all whites, so all walks of life. You had white, black, all ethnicities was sitting ringside for that Bud Canelo fight. You seen big stars that were on the silver screen. You seen top entertainers, top athletes was all sitting there. All eyes was on that event. So it boosted the profile of boxing. So now
Hey, but
boxing became a bigger sport now because of that event.
yeah. Hey, you know the two people I like to who I you know who the two people if I know when we made it if they come to see us in the main event?
Who's that, brother?
Madonna and Rosie Perez. We made it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know
If
you
you
shout
get
out Rosie.
Madonna and Rosie Perez, you made it.
Denzel, man. Yeah.
You
You get
mainstream
Denzel.
if you get them.
Yeah, Rosie pull up to them fights though. She pulls up to all the
Yes,
fights
she
for
do. So if
years.
you a main event and you get Rosie Perez and Madonna to show up at your
You,
fight,
you
you
made it.
made it, Slim.
You
You
won.
made it. Yeah, they want to say you made it. When I saw Madonna at a tank fight, I said, Slim, you made it. You got
Yeah,
Madonna at a tank fight.
yes.
Man,
Yeah,
come on, bro.
I seen Dave Chappelle sitting ringside with with Charlize Theron. I said, okay, what I'm saying,
Yeah.
when Bud won the fight, Dave Chappelle stood up and cheering. But not on that, man, it was so many people in the house, man. I mean, just looked around, man. There was so many stars in the house, man. That's when you know boxing is alive and well, man. When you get the mainstream public back interested in the
Right.
sport, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, bro, I seen a lot of podcasters uh at Jalil's fight. The Turk making this boxing thing different. Like he understand. Hey, y'all podcasters want to keep pushing this stuff? Come on, bro. Let me tell you, y'all keep pushing that Xander Zayas fight and Jalil Hackett fight. That fight gonna happen, champ. Let
Mm-hmm.
me tell you. Listen here. Do you think a man with unlimited resources like the Turk don't have somebody watching podcasts just to see what the buzz is, especially with young fighters? Do you understand that if the Turk wanted to make this fight and him and Jalil and Xander fought, now look at this angle. The Turk forever gets to say that me and my partners made a world champion. Jalil came to the Box Raw Spawn event, which was Box Raw and the Turk. Then it was that underdog, which was the Turk, and then to get him in a title shot. Do you know what that tells the rest of boxing and the rest of the boxers? If Box Raw and the Turk put on an opportunity for you to spar in front of him, and he likes what he see, you could potentially become a world champion. Jalil will be the poster boy of the system that they want actually works.
All right, Coach, man. I don't want to keep you all night, man, because we can do this all night. Because when you pull up,
Man, when we talk about boxing, bruh, I love
bruh,
talking about boxing.
me too,
I
man.
call BVO. I appreciate you guys all the time. Like I said,
For
me and
sure,
BVO,
man.
we be talking during the daytime. Even though
Yep.
he never agrees with me in any way, shape, or form, I still talk to him.
Yeah, no doubt. He's a good brother, man. And shout out to you, Coach Eddie, man, and BVO.
Yes, sir. Y'all brothers have a good evening. Hey, and shout out to you, brother Hackett, man. Hey,
Yes,
man,
indeed.
I'm happy for you guys, man. I can't wait. You guys get that strap, man.
Hey,
Yeah, for
bruh, I
sure.
appreciate y'all. I appreciate what y'all doing. Keep pushing us. We keep pushing y'all. And I tell you, we get us a strap. I think we've shown our consistency.
Uh-huh.
JBT family will get us before anybody.
Yeah. And we got you over here too with the STN network. We definitely support you.
Man,
So
BVO, you guys send me the different networks so I can follow. I don't know everything. I'm old, man.
no,
I
it's
don't know
okay.
all
But
these
shout out to
acronyms.
Hardcore. Brother
Yeah,
Jay
I don't know
got
all
it.
these acronyms or nothing, man. But I
It's all
appreciate
good.
y'all, and I rock with y'all, and y'all rock with me. So I thank y'all.
Yeah, for sure, brother. It's all good. It's different networks out there, and shout out to them. I rock with brother Jay Hardcore, so it's all love. It's all good. And
Man, I
brother,
appreciate y'all.
yeah, man, we appreciate you and your son, man. So pull up anytime. You know what it is.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Yeah, man, we signing off.